can't believe I show up for a freaking Wednesday and he's not here. Mad?
Yeah, this start is cold.
No, it's freezing. It's freezing. I am the special guest, though.
You're special on your own channel. That's a new.
If you're the special guest, who's the host?
Don't tell anybody. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out after this. Ba-doo-ba-doo. Yeah, I still do it.
Usually the host does that.
Yeah, well, where is Mad? I mean, he did say he was coming, right?
He said he'd be here.
Okay, good timing. Wrong part, but I like that. That was good. Dun, 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 dun. Couldn't get Rumble up and going. So please watch this on the YouTube or the Twitch. Dun.
My ad got a better offer.
Probably. Ba-doo. Yeah, Matt totally would throw me under the bus for that. I would, and I can't blame him. He sucks. I won't say it. Get so quiet. I want a new opening.
Where's the Mad King song?
Yeah, this ain't his time. This ain't it. If he was here, I would have played it because, you know, it's Mad. But yeah, he's not here. And that is a
Sporking fact.
All right, everybody, welcome to Wednesday night. I am your special guest and host, Scott of Sporking News Podcast. You might not know me if you only watch Wednesday nights, but this is my channel. So, yeah, guys, how are you? Mad, I was hoping would be here to host, and I could just sit back and make fun of people, but I guess not. So, thank you, Mad. He probably got a better deal somewhere else. I will first, I guess, introduce the panel, but if you are watching right now, please, you know, give a shout out in the chat. Is it always start off this low of people watching? God. But Biggles is here, so that's always good. What is a sporking? I'll do one better. Why is a sporking? Tina, Bad Take Bojans, how are you?
I am doing wonderful. It all day felt like a Thursday, so I almost thought that tomorrow was a Friday. So I felt really, really good, and then I didn't. But then that's okay because I'm like totally hyped up and I'm ready to have a show.
That is terrible. That's the worst feeling in the world to me when I think it's the day before. Like, it's awesome when, like, today, if you thought today was Tuesday, and then halfway through you're like, wow, I just totally hump date over that. You know, I like it. I like it. Sporks are like trans forks. Bite your tongue, sir. Sporks are their own being. They don't trans nothing. They're the best of all worlds. If anything, they're closer to Siamese twins. I don't know if that makes any sense. Bro begins his stream complaining about the numbers. I love you, sit-ins. I really do. You're like newer for me around here. I don't know if you've been. You're great. Keep it up, dude.
Wait, if we're making that comparison, wouldn't sporks be like hermaphrodites?
You know what? That's closer. That's closer.
Yeah.
Or like a bull. I won't go there, but you know what I'm trying to say. Slender Dad, what's up?
Howdy.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I also have felt like this week is going long, though, because it felt like a Thursday, and it's not.
Right. I got you. It sucks. That sucks, man. And I'm working Saturday, too, so that really throws you off. But we also have little Chad here. How are you, little Chad?
Hello, I'm doing pretty good. I knew that today was a Wednesday because I had to pay people today, so they would not be happy if I had forgotten. So.
Yeah.
Payroll man. Did I tell you I work for a payroll company?
Ooh, I also perhaps do payroll related items and things.
Interesting. Small world.
Yep.
Look at this. Let's get some scheme going in the background later. I'm saying we might be millionaires just after this. You know, what was that where the guy was supposed to put like a 0.0001 penny
Are you thinking of the Office Space?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is actually just a rehash of the Superman 3.
Yeah.
With Richard Pryor.
Richard
that
Pryor.
several times while they're discussing making that virus.
Exactly.
Dude, I can't believe I couldn't remember the name.
Rumor has it that did happen though, because there were certain financial institutions that they would receive the deposits from everyone who was buying stock, and they would hold on to the money overnight and then transfer it to whoever sold the stock. So basically, all that company was doing was making billions of dollars in interest just by having that money overnight. And
so now you can officially get those. They're called sweep accounts, and you can get them as a business where they will take all your money out of your account overnight to use it on the international monetary market and then put it back in before opening the next day.
Mind you, for legal reasons, none of what is said on this podcast is financial advice.
Hell, thank you, Slender. Holy crap, I didn't even think of that. Sit-ins, this is like our live stream that isn't just focused on A Song of Ice and Fire, but today is July 12th, everybody. And you know what that means? It is the anniversary. It's
another day longer that George R.R. Martin still hasn't put a book out.
He had to do that, didn't he? Getting comfortable here, little Chad. You stole my moment. No, just kidding. No, I'm not. You son of a bitch. That was perfect. You did. I hate you because George R.R. Martin breaks my heart every time. 12 years, people.
You're in an abusive relationship with the writer known as George R.R. Martin.
Oh my God, you're right.
You're just like, I hate him, but I love him.
I need Stephen Walton shorts right now.
I was going to say that. Yeah, we need to go watch Stephen now to recover from our narcissistic abuse.
Tina, can you find one of them that we could share later that'll help me through this? That would be hilarious.
What broke me of that was the Black Friday trilogy with South Park. When they I
never saw that one.
Oh, you need to watch it because the two kids go to see George R.R. Martin because one of the subplots is Game of Thrones and Cartman making schemes with everyone. And they're like, we need to know how this is going to end. And one of the kids with them is the one who has diabetes. He's like, but you need to order pizza. And then George R.R. Martin just like keeps talking about it. And it's like 3 hours later. He's like, when's the pizza getting here? You said you ordered it. Oh, no. The pizza's coming. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. But, he just keeps putting things off.
Oh, man, that's perfect. So look at this. I bring up, his not a blog. Oh, I'm so hip. And the last 2 days, which he usually takes days off, so July 10th and 11th, all about wild cards. Coming up on the 12th anniversary of A Dance with Dragons being released, this guy just wants to talk about wild cards. He is the greatest troll in writing history.
Does anyone give a shit about wild cards?
Does it just say edited by George R.R. Martin?
So some of us have talked about before, like, okay, George, you don't want to write it anymore. Give people not just bullet points like you did Dan and Dave, but give them an outline of what you want, help them through it, let them write the story, and you edit the last couple books. You can actually do more than 2 books then. You could do like 4 more books and finally get out of the Marinese knot.
Tom Clancy is still putting books out, and he's been dead for 20 plus years.
Yeah. You know what the problem is? And I know why he's not finishing the book. I can tell you right now.
He's a lazy fat F.
This could be a sporking scoop.
Yeah, Sporking scoop. I like that. Maybe he'll give it to me.
He's not finishing the book because the way they ended it on HBO was exactly how he planned to end it. And he saw how the audience reacted to that and was like, oh, shit.
That's where I will disagree with everybody. He may have planned the ending like that, but we would never have gotten there that way. We would have, because we're already seeing.
I think there are a lot of things they did wrong in the series. Like, I don't think that the redemption arc was supposed to 180 for Jaime Lannister.
Wait a minute, say that one more time, Slender.
I think Jaime Lannister was supposed to be redeemed. I think that redemption arc was supposed to continue. And then 180'd it for no reason at the last second.
I think if he was going to 180 it, it wouldn't have been last second. I think if he wanted Bran to be the king at the end, it wouldn't have been Bran. It would have been, not even Bloodhaven. You know, it would have been the Great Other or something like that that controlled Bran's body. Like,
okay, Brad is 100% where he was going to go because that whole bullshit about storytelling and it's a writer's wet
dumbest
dream, like where he's like, oh, this is what a writer would want, like the main, you know, like the most interesting character.
yeah, but he's not that dorky to say it that way. You know, like, I mean,
Well, that's clunky
But
writing from Dan and
He uses
Dave.
writers' tools, and a
Right.
great example of this is in one of the very first seasons.
love the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Love it. Love everything George writes, man. Love George R.R. Martin's writing. I just hate that we haven't got the next book. That's what I
But
hate.
very early on, Jamie explains why he became the Kingslayer in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we see that Cersei did exactly that. And so, I mean, that's foreshadowing. That is your
Wait a minute. Say that one more time.
But Cersei didn't nuke the entire. She didn't light the city on fire. That was.
She killed everyone in the church.
Yeah, she blew everybody up.
Well,
But-
that was still targeted.
Yeah.
It was targeted to kill one person and the collateral damage be fucked. And
No,
then
it was she
their
wanted to
son
take it.
committed
She didn't.
suicide.
No, hold on. She wanted to take out that, and that was all the power that was in the city that would have challenged her.
Yes.
It had the High Sparrow. It had all the nobles who
Yep.
would have raised
Their
and-
but my
their
point is
family.
yeah.
she
It was
used the
it was a
dragon
master
fire.
stroke in eliminating them all in
No,
one
she
zone.
used the dragon fire to kill all of her enemies,
Yes.
which included a large number of civilians, which is
Oh, yeah.
exactly why Jamie killed the king.
Well, the
Yeah,
kid, the Mad King
you
was
are
gonna,
right though.
But the Mad King was going to like nuke the entire city.
Yeah,
he was
but-
going to take out everybody. He basically he was going to do what McQueen did with the dragon in the last episode.
But what I'm saying is, it is a very similar situation that was set up. You saw the way that Jamie looked at her when it happened. He never would have gone back to her after that. In all honesty, I thought they were setting up for him to be in a position to
kill her.
intercede on her behalf.
I
and
thought he was
her
going to
watch
kill her.
him- I didn't think he'd be able to kill her, but I thought he'd turn his back on her when she needed him most.
So for book readers, there is this Valakar. It's like a prophecy she received where the
it was
younger
a Jenny,
yeah,
whatever.
no, Maggie the frog.
Yeah.
And she made that pretty much the younger brother will be her undoing, like will kill her or attempt to kill her. And everyone assumes it's going to be Tyrion, but a lot of us believe, and we've believed for a long time because it's been 12 years since the last book, that it's going to be Jamie in the end with his golden hand. That's kind of like a bridged reason why. But the thing is, Dan and Dave, like, they could have handed some of the people I know in this chat, and they would have probably done a better job writing the final season.
Well,
So-
HBO offered to give him like 2-3 more seasons to to space this.
Yeah, they didn't want to do it.
because they wanted to get that
Well,
Netflix.
even
money.
George
But they didn't
said
even want to
this
hand
is gonna
off.
take at least 3 more seasons to wrap up properly.
Right. And he didn't even want to hand off, like, they wouldn't even hand off the showrunner title to somebody else to allow them to do it. That's why George R. R. Martin, he washed his hands of the actual show probably about season, I would say 6.
6.
And the finale of this series, he was tweeting about a different show altogether.
I mean, it was when they ran out of source material. George R. R. Martin said, "Look, I've given them like the bullet points."
Yes.
I'm paraphrasing.
Yes.
But what they're doing with it is all them. That's all them. So, and he even did an interview. I think I remember once where he's like, "I really don't think I would have gotten to that point the same way as them at all."
Right. Right.
So-
Well, that's the thing. Like, when people are like, he saw it on TV and people hated it, so no, because George is the type of guy that he can be a troll, but he also would be like, oh, okay, you think that bad? I will get us to that same point and make you guys love it. The problem is George. There's a couple reasons, and let me just get this out because it's exactly how I feel. He created, they call it the Marinese Knot, where he has Dany in a foreign country, and if he's going to finish it in 2 books, it's not going to be very smooth, her getting back. She's going to end up having to they're going to have to abbreviate her getting back to Westeros, because she's going to have to just like
Because she's still lost, right? Waiting for the Dothraki to find her.
Well, they did. The Dothraki,
okay.
the very end of the book, that humongous Khalasar found her.
Okay.
There's a hint that she's actually starting to menstruate again, which is kind of important. But he always told us she would be going there, she would be going, or some character would be going to a shy. And now he recently he said, well, in flashbacks. So like he's gonna have to abbreviate her, because the whole prophecy with her, you have to go west before you go east, blah, 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 which we all thought was a shy, but he's going to end up having to have her fly, control the Dothraki really fast, destroy Marinese or Marine or whatever the hell this city is, and then get her ships across with one of the God damn it, Greyjoys. Victorian across. But then you have people like just random people everywhere, and to seal it all up, it can't be done in two. I can't imagine he could do it in 2 books. But
yeah, I mean, I think it's going to take him at least 1 book just to get everybody to Westeros.
Right.
Here's my favorite thing to bring up about how lazy a writer George R.R. Martin is a Game of Thrones. The first book in the series was published August 1st, 1996.
Yep.
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was published in June 1997.
Right.
J.K. Rowling got her ass through that entire Harry Potter series, and they made all the goddamn movies before George R. Martin has even put out that next book in his series.
Not as complicated as a story.
I would, I'm
a huge Harry Potter fan.
That last book was like 1,000
Harry Potter
pages.
is not as complex as Game of Thrones.
I love Harry Potter. It is not as complex. I could say her last book, and like there's some of the books are as big, but it is nowhere near as complex to get to the ending. And I really think George wrote himself into a couple writer block issues where he's like, oh shit, because when George started, this was going to be a trilogy of books.
Yeah, it was going to be a 3-book series, then a 4-book series, then a 7-book series.
Well, 5, then 7, right? And at one point he was going to do a 5 to 10 year jump in age, so he was going to age everybody up, but then he decided against that. So it's like, I love George R.R. Martin's writings. Like, I am not ripping on the dude, other than you keep telling us you're close. You keep telling us you're working on it. Then finish the book. Don't bullshit us. Like, we're adults. If you're not going to finish the series, I can move on. But you literally are that abusive boyfriend, or I should have said girlfriend, but he's a boy and he makes me feel icky about myself and fat, and I'm not pretty, and I can't get anybody better than him, and I hate him for that.
Well, it's not the dress that makes you look fat, it's your hips.
Yeah, exactly. That son of a bitch. Which one was the 5th book again? That was
he's talking about, is that Harry Potter or George R.R. Martin that he's talking about? The 5th book is terrible. Has George R.R. Martin?
The 5th book is the Order of the Phoenix, right? I'm holding that in my hand.
No, that's the 6th. I think the 5th was Goblin. All right, let me do this.
No, that's the 5th.
Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban. What's the one with the Triwizard Cup? That's
you just said it. The Goblet
of Fire.
Yep.
The 5th one is Order of the Phoenix.
Yep. Yeah, so we're right. The Order of the Phoenix.
6th one is
Half-Blood, and then you got
7th was 2. That's right, because they split it into 2 movies. Yeah. I'm always like, why is there not? I always think there's 8 books when there was only 7.
Which I have to say, I used to really dislike the first Deathly Hallow movie. And there's a lot of issues I have with the movies themselves, like the way they treat Ron, because Ron is way more of a solid friend in the books and willing to stand up for his friends. They made him kind of a P in the books or in the movies, but that first movie, like, it just drawn out, and trying to like even hint that there was a moment between Hermione and Harry in the tent when they're dancing kind of pissed me off, because like she wrote it as they were platonic. She regretted it later on, but they were platonic. They were friends. And like, even to say they like thought of it for a second was stupid. There's a couple other issues I have with it, but
Yeah, I think they changed mainly that was because what's his name? Rupert, whatever, the actor. I think they leaned into the fact that he was kind of more slapstick comedy
Yeah.
was his forte as an actor.
Right.
And since they had to stick with the kids, they weren't going to recast.
Oh, and I get that. I get that, but you know what? He learned. You could have trained the kid up a little bit. I want to kind of see what the chat has to say. We have Marby Dog, the battle that is just starting with Selmy in the Free Cities at the end of Dance of Dragons. Oh, at the end of A Flight If Dragons is going to be epic. Yeah, like it's tough, dude. There's that battle. Like, is she going to come back and just torch the city? Because that is a huge battle. There's like 3 battles going on right now. Marine, one up north, one in the south with Euron Greyjoy. And it could be an amazing book if he does it right. Spencer, hey, man, how are you? The books are never coming out. Thanks, Spencer, from Bounding Into Comics. I was going to use your article, but screw you guys.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. Look, okay. Maybe not... I still hold up. Maybe not the last book, but maybe The Winds of Winter will come out. Jane Theory, where are you when I need you?
You sound like the kid from Angels in the Outfield. Like, hey, it could happen.
No, I have to say that I agree with Scott, which of course then makes that a bad take. But you know, I really do think we're going to get Winds of Winter. I mean, it may take another 5 years.
Oh no, you'll get it because once he
but
dies and his estate wants to cash checks, they will bring in that ghostwriter and those books will get pumped out Kevin J. Anderson and Brian Herbert style, because you know,
and
when Brian Herbert's like, oh, I just found all my dad's notes and he magically had all these books that he had sat on for 30 years. And
right.
So we're going to now
Andrews,
put
out
my wife reads
books have
those
been
books.
done in her name than she ever written or wrote in her
well, she has an obsession with some weird stuff. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But you also have those 2 people, Linda and I'm forgetting their names. He did the history book, not the history book with them. He did was it this one? The World he did The World of Ice and Fire with Elio and Linda, who, like, if he does pass away, they are the people, like Elio and Linda are the people that George goes to and says, where is this character in my book? And they could just be like, oh, he's here. What eye color is this, like, random character? Oh, their eye color. Like, they have categoried everything he's done. And
what a dream job.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Unfortunately, like that, you hear all that sounds great till you're like, hey, you remember Dave Filoni used to be the guy who knew all that with Star Wars till he started screwing everything.
He never knew all that. He was a jerk off, and no one's ripping on J.K. Rowling. I love her. I love her for who the writing she did and how she stands up for herself.
I mean, speak for yourself.
Yeah,
I don't like J.K. Rowling's writing.
You could have bad takes.
Yeah, most people will tell me that's a bad take.
Why don't you?
I think she is an incredibly good storyteller. I think her writing is sophomoric at best.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why she focused on kids. You know, like, I get what you're saying. I think they're well done children's books. I mean, literally, they're what, 16 at the end of the books?
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. But, like, when we were reading one of the first books and they described Hagrid's feet as 2 giant dolphins, I was like,
well,
this is stupid. This is freaking stupid.
You know what, dude? I'll give that to you. But she was also a single mom living on some assistance and working full time, and somehow got that book published. I read it, dude. Maybe her writing.
No, dude, all credit to her for being a good storyteller. I actually put her on the opposite end of the spectrum as George R.R. because I think he's not a great storyteller, but he's an incredibly good writer.
Right. Yeah, I got to say,
she did rip off Books of Magic.
Everybody
pretty
does.
solid.
Well, dude, they all.
No, have you looked at the cover of Books of Magic?
No.
It's a Neil Gaiman comic book, came out like in the early 90s, and the kid is Harry Effin Potter with the damn owl like on the cover. She with the glasses and everything. Wow. The kid was the heir to a magic, didn't know he had a magic, lived in a, house was mistreated. Like she literally, like it's been a
Really?
thing where people have asked Neil Gaiman why he hasn't sued her, and he was like, it's not worth the effort. Good for her for being so successful.
Wow. Real quick, I just want to say, Spencer or Zax, if you guys want to jump on, we'll send you the link. The Kingslayer, which is a great name, says reading Order of the Phoenix for the first time. It's by far the best, darkest, and most complex book so far of hers, I would think. Half-Blood Prince
but every book moved up in complexity. Like the Harry Potter series grew at like the lengths grew, the complexity of each book grew. I mean, it was like you can by the end, like Half-Blood, I would say Half-Blood Prince was probably her best written out of the series. I mean, Deathly Hallows had to resolve everything, but Half-Blood Prince was probably the actual most in-depth, like, because there was so much going on with,
you learned so much
with Snape, like him not knowing that it's Snape as he's learning about Snape. I mean,
he's learning about Voldemort's family and the past. It's a good one. I'll give you that. I like that one. I think that and the Goblet of Fire is just a fun book to read, even though that's kind of where it turns to dark at the end of that book. You know, because you finally get a killing at the beginning and end of that book. Spoilers for a very old book. You know, like it's pretty good. I want to say Dungeon Master Blaster, which is, I love that picture. Your avatar, I love that cartoon.
Two men.
George's most recent book. So you're one of the few that would say that a Dance with Dragon, because I have to agree that I think Dance with Dragons and what was the one right before that? Dance with Dragons and not A Feast for Crows. Whatever. The one right before it. They were one book split apart. So you got like half the characters in one and half the other POVs in the other. And Dance with Dragon had the more popular POVs, but I think the other book was better actually now that I've read
Feast
it
for
twice.
Crows?
I think it was Feast for Crows was, because you have Clash with Kings, I think is the third book. Yeah, I don't know. I'm blanking on them. Shit. But all I know is the one right before it I thought was a better book for the story itself. Oh, here we go. Marby just says it, I think. Feast for Crow and Dragon at the same time. So it was a Feast for Crows. That was not when I usually look at the chat and rip you guys off. I knew it. I got that one right.
Look at the optimism of that one. Maybe he's writing these other two at the same time, and that's what's causing the problem.
Dude, that is what... Look, George's fans... Because you got to think about this. For like, you know, I would say a good solid 15 years, a little bit more, George was one of the most, like, beloved fantasy writers. Like, his fans loved him so much. He was involved in some of their like organizations where he would like the Order of the Green Hand, I believe was one of the groups, and he would like go and knight people, and he went to the cons that were just for them, and there was maybe like 100 people, you know, like he was so involved, and then he got rich.
I was about to say, and then he got money.
Yeah. I can't help it. He got rich. Quick.
Who got rich and kept pumping out good books? Terry Brooks, who is a better fantasy writer than George R.R. Martin.
I keep hearing that. He wrote
I wouldn't say Terry Brooks got rich the way George R.R. Martin got rich.
No, he got rich off of studios optioning his movies and then never making them.
And then the rights would lapse and he could sell the same option again.
Mm-hmm.
So what were his books?
He's Shannara, the Shannara books.
Oh,
he
dude.
He does the Shannara books. He did Magic Kingdom for Sale Sold. He did Running with the Demon.
Oh, so he doesn't like Disney.
No, he doesn't like Disney.
Get it? Magic Kingdom. I'm kidding. That was a bad joke.
I'm with
you.
I'm with you. The
it's
Shannara,
really good though. Like,
Shannara is interesting.
Really
like
I just remember that really terrible MTV show that they made of the Shannara books. You probably watched.
Don't let that color your opinion of the books, because the books were really good.
That made Mr. Bojan cry, that series.
What, Shannara, really?
No, as in the TV series adaptation.
They did like a CW style MTV
I think I caught that.
of it.
Yeah, one of the girls was super hot though.
Yeah,
She
Yeah,
always
but
had
like
at
a
least
venereal
one
she was like a
disease.
short
so-
Spanish girl, I think, like from Spain.
Like a
She was
venereal
hot.
disease, it is something you catch. It's
Yeah.
not something you watch.
I love the Hour of Doom. That is a great comment. Great comment. I just want to see because I put this up. You know, Tim, we
shit,
know
Austin
you're
Butler
we know
was
you're
in that
Jon
show?
Snow. If anybody wants any, Tim is Jon Snow. He is Kylo Ren. He is them all. He is a great YouTuber, great Instagram. Check him out. But I want to read this because Zach has been a member for 19 months and he just says Sporkers with the the rocket sign. I like to thank you guys. When I got demonetized, lost all my channel members. We talked about that Saturday, and I was at like 16 channel members on Saturday, and we grew 21 more. So thank you guys for showing up and just showing love. So I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. What did you say here, Spencer? She wrote those books for young kids. The books get more complicated as they go on. She literally wrote them for the kids as they were growing. It's awesome. And he's a writer, so got him. Sit-ins off the bed. See you later, man. Thank you for being around lately. I appreciate it. Dungeon Master. I know that comic. My friend had those. You are right. So back to the, God, what was that guy? Terry what?
Terry Brooks.
Terry Brooks.
That's Shannara.
I just realized Austin
Okay, I
Butler
got
was
that.
the lead on that show, and now he's
Yes, he
Oscar
was.
nominated.
And now
It's
he
like going
speaks like
back,
he's Elvis.
And now it's like going back and watching Armory of Darkness and realizing the Oscar-nominated actress from Schindler's List was the lead in that, and you're like, she definitely made different career choices after this movie. Good for her.
That's Hey, Machini, if you want to jump on, you're more than welcome. Because Zach's and Spencer have not said they wanted to, so I'm taking it as they don't. Terry Brooks, a better writer than Martin. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know personally because I haven't read Shannara, but for me, okay, if and
Well,
I'm
guess
saying,
what?
wait a minute, I'm
Finish
saying
his books.
that's what I was about to say. A big if he and I hate the if. I mean, a book is a book. If he does though, because you have a valid point. I hold him like Tolkien, Martin for me. Like Tolkien because he created something that bits and pieces have been done before, but he created a world that no one's ever seen
And finished it.
and finished it. It was only 3 books. And Martin,
Because he could do it in 3 books.
he could, and he didn't have social media. And
Neither did Martin when he started. He started in 1996.
and that's why he was getting books done.
Social media didn't come around till like the mid-O's.
Thank you. You just proved my damn point, bro.
Why? Like
2011 was his last
JK
book.
J.K. Rowling got her books out. Definitely had 3 or 4 out before Facebook launched.
Yeah, women multitask better. I'll say it. Where's Mad, dude? What a prick. He said he was going to be here for the Mad Dump. Like, jeez, the guy like runs streams on my channel. He can't show up when I'm here. What a dick. I love him. Sorry. So let's see. I'll read a couple more of these and then we'll move on.
Thought he was here since I saw YouTuber's YouTuber.
Oh, Black Pill does start. Don't anybody go watch that till this is over. I am the YouTuber's YouTuber. I don't know if you guys knew that. He's totally stole that from me. Everybody knows that.
Sporking fact.
It's true. Oh, I meant to tell you. So I'm not good with tech, but I just bought because it's freaking Prime Day and I hate Jeff Bezos, but I still took advantage of it. I bought myself a new condenser mic that stands on the desk with a new mixing board and everything. I'm all excited. I don't know how to set it up though. I will have no clue. So we're going to have to maybe do stream.
Is this going to be as fun as when you were putting your password in to get on the server for Conan?
That's fucked up, dude. You guys screwed me. Somehow they screwed me. Okay? Because I put it in perfectly every time.
Nobody screwed you. You
You
fucked it up. You fucked it up.
I wrote it right every time. I even did the show. We could bring up the stream right now. You guys screwed it up. So you did some type of lock on that damn server to make me look like an idiot, Slender. I know what you're up to.
No, you don't.
It's called
You have no idea what I'm
dyslexic
up to.
abuse.
That's what scares me, dude. That's what scares me. Hey, what's up, Katina? AI privileges. Good to see you guys. Fucking. Let's move on. All right, George. Thanks for being a prick. I love you, but I hate you right now. Though if you came out with the She-Wolves of Winterfell going on with the Duncan Eggs book, I'll forgive you for another 10 years. Maybe 5. Maybe 5 because it's a novella. So you guys want to talk Rings of Power actress, or do you want to talk UN press stunt where they had the AI robots tell them they're not going to kill everybody?
But they are better than humanity. They did throw that in.
They
We
did.
won't kill you, but we're still better than you.
Dude, when are we going to learn?
I mean, how often do we need to learn this lesson? And good for Tom Cruise for having a very timely, amazing movie come out.
Okay, let's have a mini moment here. Chad is the only one on the panel that has saw Mission Impossible 7. So what I'm going to say, non-spoiler. Yep. He's going to give us a minute or two and tell us what he thought about the movie.
It was great. It was one of the first movies I've seen in a long time where I actually felt like I saw the money on the screen, because it's all practical with slight CGI enhancement when needed, but pretty much practical special effects. It's just a fun, good action movie. It actually had tension during some of the stunt sequences, since it's real people doing these things. The plot is actually, from the beginning, I don't want to spoil it, because if I talk about any of the things related to that, but I can just tell you it's got amazing acts, and all the actors are really fantastic. Like Haley Atwell is a great addition to the mix.
Peggy Carter?
Yes.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah, and so she's being brought in, like Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, who's been there for the 30 years. The whole thing's been going on. They're just all bringing their A game. It's really good to see an actual movie where people are trying, and you see it on screen, and it just is a good time that I think everybody could have. It is a part 1, but it actually does have a distinct resolution to the movie, even though they are leading into the next one. I would liken it to the way kind of like Lord of the Rings ends in Fellowship, where that it's an ongoing story, but you do feel like the first round of it's been resolved and you move to the next phase.
Really?
So I would say if you wanted to be able to pick up pretty much most of the plot threads, the first Mission Impossible movie and then the last 2 are the most important to like really be caught up on what you're seeing on screen. But you don't have to have that. They still give you enough details to be able to kind of follow it, but you'll get the most out of it if you watch Mission Impossible 1 from like 96, and then you watch Rogue Nation and Fallout, and that leading into this one.
I'm kind of looking forward to it now. I like to see what it turns out to be. Tina.
I also like that they released it on Discount Tuesday, so I got to see it like opening day, and it was cheap.
And I heard it was freaking like Valiant Renegade said his play. He was like went in the afternoon and it was packed on a Tuesday, like packed.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of people support him after what movie came out where he was like this Maverick, right? Where he literally comes out and thanks the fans. And we're not used to that. We're not used to Hollywood, anyone from Hollywood, which I don't know if anybody considers the A-lister he was, but he still has that power at the box office. For him to thank us and not berate us for disagreeing with anything he, in his movie, was a big thing in my mind. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's always had, bar those couple years where whatever was happening, right, he's always had a really good charisma with fans, and I think even those times when he was having his most serious PR trouble, it wasn't because of his interaction with fans. No, it was because of his interactions with people interviewing him, right, and of course some of the fact that he was affiliated with a weird
religious organization.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Right.
And then I think the bottom for him might have been when those videos leaked out where he had recorded them for like their annual meeting, and he was using all the official like language, like where he's like, when you're around a suppressive person and this and that, and it's just like, this guy is knee deep in all of this, isn't he?
You know what happened? He fired his publicist at that time and hired his sister. And people then realized, holy crap, this guy's out of his ever-loving gourd. And then he fired his sister and got another publicist. Because, like, look, you're believe what you want to believe, okay? But when you come out, like Tina said, and attack women for postpartum depression because your religious belief thinks you could cure it with the power of, I don't know.
You're being glib, Scott.
Yeah,
you're being glib.
Stop it. You're being glib.
You're being glib,
Matt.
And it was heartbreaking.
That's a deep cut for people who remember the Today Show. In hindsight, when he was talking to the guy who had the special button for his office, it makes things look a little worse.
That's a good point. It was
Very good
heartbreaking
point.
for me to turn on Tom Cruise because, I mean, Top Gun came out when I was a junior in high school, and like all the guys wanted to join the Navy, and all the girls were swimming all over, the
Hey, Slender, how did people in the Navy actually feel about Top Gun? Because I have another friend from high school who joined the Navy, and he's always told me that Navy people have a very different opinion than the average.
Unless you're a pilot, fuck that movie.
Yeah.
See, I mean, it made me want to join it made me want to join the Air Force. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't have I had corrective lenses, so I could only fly helicopters, but still, it would have been cool.
I know Mad would grease up and go play volleyball with those guys. He loves it.
That was
Mad.
a good part of the movie, yeah. But like,
Let's hear it for the boys.
all the flying and everything, I don't.
For the boys.
And when you're on a ship, if you're on like a carrier, right? I swear to God, the pilots over in the air dead every damn night are requesting Top Gun.
Yeah. Well, come on.
And it's like, sir, nobody wants to watch that movie but you.
Yeah. Can't you even give Iron Eagle a chance? That was a good one.
Oh, that was Air Force.
love
though,
I
so
know
that
it was. Oh, so maybe because it's Air Force, but Iron Eagle was awesome. Who didn't want to put? Who didn't want one of
Louis
those?
Gossett Jr.
hell yeah.
Chappie play the tape. I know you're feeling worried right now, son.
Chappie,
No!
no.
And yet he just shows up at the end like, how did you survive, Chappie? Magic.
Yeah.
Movie magic.
Don't you worry about it. I'm Chappie.
I saw your plane blow up right in front of me. There
Literally
was no
saw body
parachute.
parts. I think I had to use the windshield wipers. Okay.
If he had ejected, like,
Yeah.
Michael Gedrick should have seen the ejection sheet going out, but no, he's like, nope, I'm just gonna fly on and get my son, get my dad.
I want to. So, Katina sent me a DM. Now, I guess she couldn't send the link to me, but what she's saying is, and we're just going back for a second. I just read the article on Wiki of Thrones. Supposedly, so this is all grain of salt. Another author had a talk with George, I guess, where he says he admits where he painted himself into a corner because he killed somebody off and realizes now that he needs him, but doesn't say who. And they don't say who in the article either. Who the hell could he have killed off that he needs?
Well, that's what
now?
happens when you kill off half your damn characters.
I feel like, honestly, that's George. You mentioned it earlier, Sporking, Scott.
Yeah.
George R. R. Martin knows fans, and he's throwing you bait.
Yep.
To try to get you debating something else.
Right. Not to remember that
did he
this is the
need,
12th
though?
anniversary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
'Cause I
won't tell you who I killed, but I definitely thinking now I shouldn't have killed that person. Oh, I've only killed like hundreds and maybe even to the thousands of people through the book series. So, he's throwing bait. He's throwing bait.
What I hate about you is I just had like an 8-part series of streams in my head figuring out who the person he was talking about. So you're right. We do that. They'll be arguing about that. If that becomes like an article that gets around, channels that cover Martin, they will be talking about that for the next 2 months.
We could probably find some website that has a list of everybody that's been killed in each book in chronological order. So that would be a fun stream.
Well, yeah,
That is
where
true.
the books left off, Jon Snow is technically dead right now too. So
Yeah. He's really in his dire wolf, but whatever. I think,
you're one of the Ward theorists.
Oh, definitely.
I
believe when his brother was assassinated, and he said Grey Wind without knowing it, he went. So that's why it's so sad. He gets killed, wargs into his dire wolf, and then gets killed again. Pretty fucked up. Yeah, think about that. That sucks. Wow, what a shitty way to go. What a great, but just to when you talk about bringing your readers on a ride where they meet this family and they cheer for most of the family members, and then you kill almost all the family members. Definitely the ones you like. You kill them. And then you bring one back as a zombie, entity that's something else, a firewhite, if you will. He writes some really cool ideas, man. I mean, he does rip off, Lovejoy and a lot of other people. Did I say Lovejoy? Is that right? Yeah, Lovejoy. Lovecraft. Holy shit. Lovecraft. I'm sorry. I was like, that is not sounding right to me. Yeah, Lovecraft.
Lovejoy is something, though, right?
Yeah. That's a video.
A character's name?
We shouldn't be talking about.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those Game of Thrones porn parodies, I think. No, just kidding. Yeah, so that would be really cool. Yeah, no Rumble stream this week because I could not for some reason I was trying to start it up and they say, stream now or later. And when I hit later, it wouldn't give me the calendar to change the time. And I tried it 5 times and it wouldn't do it. So
they really need to get that API up, because when we do our show, me and Slender, every week, and I have to set that up, I have so many custom set up, a Rumble episode this, Rumble episode that. I'm like, oh, can't you? I thought Rumble said they were working with streamers to get that API so that it would just load like it does for YouTube.
I'm with you, man, because I'd rather be. I truly enjoy Rumble, and I wish my channel would take off over there. But I just enjoy the idea that I could just talk and speak my mind like you should be in America, where I am. And on YouTube, I have to always second guess, did I say something that's going to nuke my channel? That's what bothers me. So I'd rather be on Rumble, even with a smaller channel. Whatever. So I don't know. I'm going to bring up this article, though, about the Lord of the Rings actress, because I mean, she verifies it, I guess, and it is
Who offended her this time?
Well, no, I guess this is from Bounding into Comics, John F. Trent. The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power actress admits goal of series is to warp people's vision of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. Which, hey, you guys did a great job. Yeah, I'm shocked.
I really love that somewhere in the Amazon accounting department where someone had to justify investing in the rights, where they're like, oh, we're going to get a guaranteed return by spending this much money on it. They're seeing this interview and are like, oh, fuck.
Right.
It's why would we do that? We saw what happened with Disney writing the $4 billion check for Lucasfilm, and then them crapping on their evergreen properties. They get one of the most evergreen, loyal fan base, license to print money of all time, and they hire people to subvert and do it. I was like, if you had made a halfway decent show, those EA games, was it Shadow of Mordor? Were halfway good games. They weren't great. They were okay. And they still got such a loyal following from the Tolkien people.
Well, first off, they were great games.
Ooh, we got to disagree.
The stories in them weren't good.
Okay.
But the gameplay was awesome.
Well, I did see in chat that your opinion regarding Terry Brooks was not validated. So I don't know.
That's because there's one dumbass in chat. I love that dumbass for watching us, but
nice save, Slender.
But if you're going after Terry Brooks, I mean, he's universally heralded as one of the kings of fantasy. He's been writing since before I was born, and he's a millionaire off of his books. So you could say he's a bad writer, but he's at least a very successful one.
Oh, this might be the guy I was thinking about. Is this the one that Stig told me about? Terry Goodkind.
I remember those books being in the bookstore for years. I always was going to the sci-fi, part of the sci-fi fantasy section. So
yeah, I like more of the fantasy.
Yeah. Isn't it like an R.J. Salvatore or something?
R.A. Salvatore or something?
Thank you. Yeah, that's another.
I'll tell you, if you guys like sci-fi.
Salvatore writes the Dritz Do'Urden books. Yeah. Those are Forgotten Realms novels. I've read all of them.
Those are Dungeons Dragons, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay, so I got some books to read, I guess. I could wait another 12 years.
Go Dan Simmons and do sci-fi. Fall into the sci-fi crowd.
Maybe next time.
Go real nerd.
Don't get me wrong. I don't
Go real
mind.
nerd.
I don't mind sci-fi. I just something about fantasy. Reading it, like all the anime I watch is mostly like fantasy.
Are you
that's
watching
what I'm-
Isekai? Be honest.
Definitely, dude.
We love us some Isekai. Have you watched the
love-
new one with the guy turning into a vending machine?
No, I just downloaded it today actually because I was really holding off on dub. Like I love dubs, but I've now appreciate the whole sub thing.
Thank you. See, Slender. Regular people can get into dub.
It took me
Regular
years.
people
Get
can
into
read
subs.
those things fast.
I can't. I have to back up every once in a while, dude.
I have a horrible astigmatism, and I don't like to try and read while I'm trying to watch what's happening.
If you
on the
watch
screen.
it in the theater room, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have a theater room.
I got all these guys, but we got
before we go to the next thing. I gotta tell
let's stay on it. Hold on. Go for it.
You don't have a book from George R.R. Martin, but we delved into my wheelhouse, so I gotta recommend this.
Please do.
Forgotten Realms novel series, the Erebus Kale books. I believe it's Twilight Falling. Those are extremely good, and they're a little darker than your standard fare, so they might be something you enjoy.
I mean, if you want to go darker, get some of the original Robert E. Howard Conan and shit,
yeah.
man.
You know what anime
crazy stuff.
I watched Fist of the North yesterday.
Fist of the North Star?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was
from
it.
From the late 80s, 90s.
Oh yeah, dude. And it is definitely like
it's
dated.
Crazy shit. Yeah,
it's dated, but
awesome.
it's like their like wish list for Bruce Lee because he's totally Bruce Lee.
Oh, I remember. That one was classic. That's like saying I watched Vampire Hunter D for the first time yesterday.
I want a crossover with Fist of the North Star and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh, I started watching JoJo and I went away from it. I got to come back to that. But why is there an Isekai ban? Wait a minute. You know what?
Isekai.
Isekai. Oh, I'm sorry, you freaking anime nerds. I just feel embarrassed that I said it wrong.
Scott's like, I just watch ecchi.
I don't edge. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not too far off what ecchi is. That's the word for fan service.
Oh, gotcha. So
you're watching
Isekai.
a serious anime, and then all of a sudden you'll see a girl's underwear. Like that's the ecchi moments.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, Jesus, my wife sees me watching this, like, she's gonna think I'm a weirdo, and she does. But like, no, I like the idea of someone like ending up in a different world. So like, I watched that. I watched something. The Something Healer is a new one I just watched. I like. Did
were you about to say redo of Healer? I hope that wasn't what you were talking about.
No. You know what? Where's my phone? Where's my damn phone? I'll tell you right now. Brahma, I sent you a link if you want to jump on. And Spencer can't do it because Spencer's too cool, and Zach's never wants to be on with me. I figured that out real quick. So I watch Crunchyroll. I do like one where the guy's farming. He has
farming life in another world.
I love that
magic
one.
Farming tool.
I freaking love it. I think it's great.
I'm caught up on that one right now.
Yep.
Yeah, because they started releasing the dub, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they just did.
That's on High Dive. Did you watch The Eminence in Shadow?
Freaking awesome. I love that one. I love that one.
What I love about anime and why it's winning is because it's still it's a art form where when they try to point out that girls have very large endowments, it's only to make fun of the girls who don't.
Right. It's between the girls, and usually the guy is the prude, which I love.
Yeah. Anime girls only come in like flat as a board or not extra large. And
they look like children, or they look like blow up.
Yes,
that's the one I get uncomfortable about.
They're called. They always mix. If it's a harem anime, there's always someone that's what's referred to as a lolly.
Yeah, they're of age, but they look young, right?
Yeah, they'll always.
Your problem, Sporking, is if you like isekai, most of them are harem animes as well.
So they're always going to have a lolly girl.
They're kind of wrapped up.
Oh my God, is that why?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Harem. They tend to be overpowered characters. Although watch ReZero, that is the best.
Oh, that's the best one. He's a psycho.
Yeah,
he loses his mind. You're like, oh yeah, that was one of the first ones I've ever watched.
Started on this little Chad.
It's too bad.
I fucking hate that character. He's a bitch.
Who?
Subaru.
Oh, Subaru's
The
hate
main
him.
character from
he's a
ReZero.
psycho. He's a psycho.
He's not a psycho.
No,
No. He has
he's
he's
he's psychologically tormented.
that you know what? That's a better
Rem
way
was
of putting
best
it.
girl, and he should have went with Rem when Rem said, "Hey, you should go with me." Like,
Well, everybody
well, he's
knows Rem is
obsessed.
best girl.
I
but
hate everything
Yeah.
Amelia's
about it.
good too.
But he's obsessed with the one girl. He feels like he doesn't have any power, and when he dies, he comes back, but he feels all the pain of dying and remembers it. Like
I know.
that would
Plus,
mess you up.
I'm full up on the light novels. There's other stuff going on why him and Amelia were connected. So
Okay, so another couple newer ones that I got into is I got a cheat skill in another world, became
that one.
unrivaled.
and became
Yeah.
unrivaled in the
Yeah,
real world too.
I-
That's a newer one.
That's a great one because it's like a fat dude who becomes awesome.
That's
I'm
basically
really glad
most
he
of
stopped being a
Isekai.
fat dude very early on, though, because
Yeah,
I
same
hated
here.
looking at him. He was disgusting.
One I'll wait for the dubbed, even though I don't want to because I got hooked on the dub before anything, was Mushikai Tenshi.
Mushikai Tensei.
I got
Mushuko
close.
Tensei.
I got
It's
close on that
Mushuko
one.
Tensei Jobless Reincarnation.
That's a good one.
I've been trying to get Slender to watch that one for 2 years.
Oh, it's great.
It's probably the second best isekai that's ever been done. Besides
what's your favorite?
But
ReZero.
as I have told you,
ReZero.
Isekai is a tertiary for me. I'm a slice of life.
Jobless Reincarnation basically is kind of a slice of life. Like
It is.
It's him spending a lot of time. It's going to get weird, Scott. If you haven't
I'm
read
up
the-
to date, so
if you haven't read the light, but
No.
if you haven't read the light novel,
no.
things are going to get weird. But
Okay.
it's interesting because it's going into territory that an anime generally doesn't. It really gets in depth with stuff. So I think
Okay.
that one is fantastic.
Right.
If you're into humor with it, Konosuba is actually hilarious. That's an isekai where the guy brings the goddess with him as his like one thing.
Oh yeah, he
can
picks
bring.
her. He
Yeah,
picks her
and
as
she turns out to be an idiot.
one of the
and
funniest.
useless. Yeah.
One of the funniest ones, dude. One of the funniest ones. I think I've watched every isekai that we could get over here. So like, give me just name off some random ones. I probably watched it. Which one?
Parallel World Pharmacy.
Gate.
No.
Love
You
that
should
one.
watch Gate.
I love Parallel
Gate.
World. Which one?
Have you watched Gate?
Gate, where the guy goes into the other world as a military guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
started
good.
that one. I'm still moving on. Yeah,
Tina, the princess's name is Pina Colada.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
That is her name.
She likes dancing in the rain.
What's up?
Did you watch Cautious Hero?
Cautious hero. I
The
only
hero
watched
is
one or two.
overpowered
Yeah.
but overly
yes.
cautious.
Yes, he's like
That
working
one's
out all the
great.
time.
Is
Is it?
Slender
I gotta
was
go
the
back
one who
to
got
that.
me to watch that, and it was.
I got to
it
go
made
back
me
to
laugh.
that one. There's a couple I started
Did you
and
watch
I
I'm
have
a
to give.
spider, so what?
Oh yeah, I am caught up on that one.
What
Let's
about
see.
combatants will be dispatched?
Tell me a lot, because sometimes the names.
He works for an evil organization, and they send him to another planet to make sure that they'll be ready to take it over in case things go wrong on Earth.
Oh man, sounds familiar.
It's pretty hilarious. Did you
The
watch
first
Handyman
thing that
Saito?
he does, the first thing that he does is he finds out that this ancient artifact they have that can make it rain doesn't work, and his android she resets it, and it goes, okay, we need a new password, and he's like, I got it. The password is Dick Festival.
Okay, yeah. You know what?
And she's like, why is that the password? He's like, because think about it. Their royalty's going to have to go up during this ceremony and say Dick Festival in front of everybody. It'll be hilarious.
I just want to let you know, Jane will be joining like our Monday nights every once in a while because we're doing a Song of Ice and Fire. I don't want to lie to you and say she'll be here. But we in the spirit of Jane, we are definitely not speaking to her mental capacity. We are definitely not there right now talking about this stuff, but she will be around because I love her. She's one of my good friends on this thing. So, and I wish her, family all the best.
Overlord. That's a great one.
Yeah, love that one.
I don't
Have you
even know if I
watched
classify
Serial Experiment
Overlord
Lane?
as an isekai, though, because
Wait.
you never see the other world.
Mr. Grant Gregory, which one?
Serial Experiment Lane.
Which one's that?
That one's
It's
old.
yeah, it's old, but it's a good one. Where a chick basically turns into the internet.
Why do I feel like I did? All right, so after this show, the three of you put down isekai shows for me in our chat. I don't care how much we fill in the DM, because I need to see if I missed any. That sounds like one I haven't seen.
The Devil is a Part-Time?
Yeah, I started that one. Yeah, that's a reverse. I did
Or
watch
more
this one.
inverted.
See, like, because this is one of the ones I started to watch, and I was like, oh, this is dumb. And then I was like, you know what? I watched a ton. I'm going to go back to it. And I was like, this is great. This is great. You know, so like Overlord, Lane's not isekai. What? What's that? Not a isekai. Lane's?
Overlord is probably my favorite. I
Overlord's
really like
awesome.
Overlord.
I like the first Sword Art.
SAO. Oh,
Yeah, I like the first one.
I
Was
like
great.
all of them. They're
Have you
all
watched
good.
Have you watched the Alicization arc?
Yes, it was good. Don't get me wrong.
That was great.
The first one was just amazing. To me, it was amazing.
And
I
some
love
of the-
Handyman. I love
Handyman
camping,
Psycho.
fire, cooking in another
Handyman
world.
was good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Handyman Saito is like, what's your standard of measurement in this world? It's a Marduk. He's
Yeah.
like, a Marduk? What is that? Well, you see, our very first king was about yay big, so we just made that the official unit of measurement as one Marduk.
Oh man.
And then when he's talking with him later, he's like, well, I mean, mine's only like half a Marduk. And the girl is like, it's only half a Marduk?
Outbreak Company, is that one of them? Is that an isekai? I don't know.
What about Drifters? That's one, isn't it?
I haven't seen that. I've seen all right, Paladin, something Paladin. That was really good. Kids
Skeleton Knight in Another World? That one was good.
That was good, but the Paladin one was good. He was raised by like a three, like one looks like a zombie priestess, one looks like a skeleton warrior, and the other's like a ghost wizard, and he's raised by them.
Rising of the Shield Hero.
That's great. I liked Log Horizon a lot too.
Well, the first season was great.
Oh, it was amazing.
The time I
Second
got
season.
reincarnated as a slime.
Yep, that was
very
fantastic.
The
well
second
done.
season of Shield Hero left a little to be desired.
The name change killed me, but I guess the guy died. Wow, I used the wrong words there. But sometimes they like, okay, so did you guys watch the one with the smartphone?
Yeah, all I got was
yeah.
my smartphone.
In Another
the-
World with my smartphone.
I believe the voices had to change. First season, second season sound different. to
I
me.
think they switched studios, and so the animation style also changed.
Gotcha.
Slightly.
We're
That happens like the One Punch Man had that happen where they switched studios between the season 1 and season 2.
right.
And it just got really not as good.
I mean,
Did you watch my One Hit Kill Sister?
I started it. That's one of those where it's like, wow, it's like weird that his actual sister wants him, but she's super hot. So what are you going to do?
They are not even that one. They don't even like try to make it
Right.
like maybe it's
Not
just
at
like,
all. She's direct.
She's down and she's
Yeah, but they're only
trying to
related
get-
by blood.
Right, by blood.
No,
they don't
what's great
look exactly
was-
alike.
Have you watched it, Grant?
No, I haven't seen that one.
What's hilarious is so the guy gets isekai'd because he
Yes.
gets into an accident, truck coon, normal way. But she's so obsessed with him, she sees him in his coma in his hospital bed, so she slams her head into a wall until
Right.
she also gets comaed and isekai'd.
But
she
the
basically killed her,
But
self.
she killed.
How did you know
self-deleted.
that was going to happen though?
She
just
didn't.
believed.
She didn't. She didn't know it would happen. She just thought she was going to kill herself because she wanted to be put into a coma too, because he was. And at the moment she was doing that, he was like drawing his his OP power, and it turns out she is the OP power for him
She's one hit. She can one
Yeah.
hit.
She was the
anything.
power the whole time.
the whole time. There's some really cool ones, and we probably lost everybody, but
Wasn't that the
I just-
end
I
of the
just-
last Skywalker where
oh my
he
god.
dies and then she dies and then sorry.
Don't ruin anime for us.
See,
Bojan.
my only problem with these animes is I don't think the titles are long enough.
Right.
The anime titles are amazing.
I mean,
It's
I
got
think
like
that's the
full
joke
on.
at this point.
My favorite
the-
title the last couple of years was "Chilling in My 30s" after I got fired from the Demon Lord's army.
Oh, that's a good one too, though.
It
That
was
one's
great.
good.
I
I also liked.
The title's completely misleading. He quit. He wouldn't even get
I also
fired.
liked. I was
Saving
I was
80,000
fired from
gold
the
in
Heroes
another
Party,
world.
so I took up a quiet life in the countryside.
yeah.
Or what the
Or
one?
the magical revolution of enchanted young princess lady, or whatever it's called. That's another one.
Or
Stupidly long for no reason.
The grandchild's shit.
The wise
heroes,
grandchild.
the
hero's
wise. Yeah,
grand-
that's a good one.
The wise
and then,
hero's grandchild. Yeah.
and
Or
the pupil
trapped in
one?
a dating sim, the world of Otani
Oh, yeah, that
games
one,
is
Trapped in
tough
a
for
Dating-
mobs.
Is that good?
It actually is. It's
Really?
really
I
good.
never gave it a chance.
No, you should watch it. It's really good.
I also like another one where the girl, like the guy is like a wizard in the game, like one of the most powerful, and somehow he gets pulled into the game, but he comes back as a young girl. So it's like the great sage's pupil or something like that.
Great sage's grandchild, I think.
Yeah, and then you got
that's what happened in Saga of Tanya the Evil.
Oh yeah, Tanya the Evil.
That's a good one, man.
Yeah,
I hope that
German,
gets it too.
The German aesthetic it had a movie that came out. So
Did it really?
That's available on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Now.
Like Sean, I'm 20 minutes behind. I was your Terry Brooks dumbass. All right, let's move on from it. We can talk about this on our own time because we just spent like freaking 20 minutes doing it.
But here, weeb content is gold for shorts. Have talked to
right?
Use that. Yeah.
All right. So what were we even going to talk about? Holy shit, I forgot. Oh, here we go.
Talk about Ring of Power actress.
There we go. The Ring of Power actress.
Oh, I'm done.
Cynthia Day Robinson, who plays Morelle or whatever the hell her name was in the show. Marielle, wow, you guys took the time to pronounce it correctly. I appreciate that. In the show, recently revealed the first season of the show was created to warp the story for newcomers to Tolkien's story. Like, okay, let's just first hear. Oh, God, I hate my mouse on this. For some reason on Bounding Into Comics, it flies. All right, here we go. So that's her. She's got some nostrils. During an appearance at the Monte Carlo Yes, I always wanted to go there. Television Festival in June. Variety reporter.
Adai.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Robinson. Well, you want to read it? Because you're so much better than me.
I'm more than happy to. I don't want to steal your thunder, though.
No, please always steal my thunder. Please steal it.
Take you lightning.
Variety reports. Adai Robinson stated, Season 1 is really about an introduction. You're setting the stage for aspects of the story that are maybe a little more familiar to audiences. Because we do know a little bit more about these next few things that happen, that will be part of Season 2. She continued, but there are a lot of people who have never read the books. They've never seen the movies. So that Season 1 setup really is, in my mind, it's really for those people who are very new to Tolkien. So Season 2, you're going to see a lot of storylines start to come through, she concluded. Adai Robinson's comments are quite common among cast members for the Prime Video series. Sophia Namvetse, who portrays Princess Disa, told PA Media last July, "We are redressing the balance within the film and television industry, and of course, this franchise, as I hope lots of franchises moving forward."
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did any men on the cast say anything to anyone ever about anything?
They tried to, and they were immediately shut down.
Why would you speak? A woman is reading.
There was only 2 men that were actually in the series.
Look at
they
Ryan.
Stopped for a second. No, they looked at the guy and was like, "Excuse me, are you LGBTQI plus ABCD? If you're not, you shut your mouth."
Yeah. Look at Ryan getting looked at by Fatal J. I love this picture.
These are the best people for the roles, but what they've done is open the doors for the people of all backgrounds.
She's looking at them like they're at a golden corral, and she's got
she's about
up
to
for
eat
plate
him
number
up.
2.
She's like, yeah, I love me some dwarf, but I gots to have some elf. Yeah, the spin on this character, like, she went from somebody was the only character in this, like, I only watched. Did I watch the whole series? I don't even know if I finished it. I had to, because I watched it and she seemed like, okay, better than I thought she was going to be, even though she was the one in all the interviews that made it about race, made it about gender, made it about inclusivity. Like, I'm a huge fan, but you need to change everything. And in the last episode, she's this, all of a sudden you see like this controlling evil woman. Like, okay, there we go again. Not, like they'll say she's a strong woman and the dwarf prince is just a dumbass. Like, they're no men.
Well, I mean,
Zero.
She's Lady Macbeth.
Yeah.
Like, she is straight Lady Macbeth.
Yeah. She's terrible.
She then boldly asserted to be part of creating accessibility, oh God, for
I don't
generations to
understand why
come.
the writer would need to add the word boldly. Clearly, with this, since it's a
Well-
woman, it's going to be boldly stated.
Right, but you
It's
know
And
what?
also
bold, it's
stunning,
beautiful,
and also
it's
stunning.
brave. That's just assumed.
Right. Grant, what did you say?
I said, and also stunning. The fact that he didn't say it was stunning is a little bit disheartening.
Probably castrated after this. Yep.
For new generations, this is their version of Tolkien bullshit.
Yep.
This is what my daughter will see of Tolkien's works.
It's
their
not
time.
Tolkien.
Oh wow, you hate your daughter.
Yeah.
There aren't versions of Tolkien. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
He wrote some fucking books. That's
No,
Tolkien.
there's Tolkien's got the OG trilogy, and then there's the EU, and then there's the Disney version. So
Right. And let's not forget they're talking about the multiverse, of course, right?
It's in 2023. It's actually fairly easy to curate your kids' content. So I run a Plex server, and I don't have the streaming services accessible. So when my son wants to watch cartoons, he's watching Transformers G1 from like 1986.
Amen.
He's like, if he wants to watch Voltron, he's watching like I curate which things he's seeing so that he's gonna know these
So
are the
he-
ones, and
When
that's
he
what
talks
he's associating.
when he talks Voltron, he knows who Sven is.
Yeah, instead of Shiro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's
Nice.
how stupid this is, though. Let's do a thought exercise here, right?
Okay, you're making me think. Okay.
Star Wars Episode 7, 8, and 9. Do you think anyone on this planet goes, this is the George Lucas my kids are going to see?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen
Bam,
Kennedy.
I win.
Thank you.
I win.
That is
You
not
said
George Lucas.
no. You said anyone on the planet, and so she's someone on the planet. So I win. I win. 1-0.
Okay, I'll give you
Did
that.
anybody truly win?
No, we all lose.
Okay,
Doomcock,
just making sure.
he did because
Yeah.
he did another video about how she's getting fired
Yeah. Yep.
again.
He's never getting fired.
Yeah. Someday.
I mean, I
Someday.
think that I swear Doomcock is Kathleen Kennedy. and he's just the content is just so you can profit on both sides. This
Everybody,
person
look,
made a video about me getting fired. You can't fire me now.
everybody has their Achilles heel. Okay. Doomcox is Kathleen Kennedy. She is his kryptonite. At least rumors are his kryptonite.
I
with
don't
her.
think she's his kryptonite. I think she's his money.
Well, maybe. God bless the dude. Do your thing, man. Do your thing.
I used to be okay with it, but after I get the same like rumor from
Yeah.
sources 20,000 times
Yeah.
that
I don't know.
this is
I
time.
keep watching those videos that he puts up because I keep asking myself, okay, well, what changed this time?
Well, at some point it's going to be right, hopefully. But you know who you should watch if you want more precise? Mike Zero.
Mike Zero
Yeah.
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 from the
Yep.
future.
From the future. Yep. All right, let's read on before people leave us because, his fans they're diehards. And I mean, no disrespect to Doomcock. None.
I mean, I think he's a cool guy. It's just
I mean,
let's
I
leave it
just
at that.
openly profess that I watch almost all his videos.
I watch him too, which is the sad part.
I used to be a channel member. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very charismatic.
Yes.
So it's their time and it's so important. And I hope many people will see this fantasy and be able to relate to it. She continued. This is a reflection of the world we live in. There are many and we are different and we will embrace and discover and peel back and learn and educate it and be educated. And we can only do that when we embrace and love our differences.
Oh,
Well,
shut the fuck
while
Fuck
we're
our
adapting
differences.
a book from a guy who lived in England who was writing specifically to create a folklore
European folklore. That was
for
the goal.
no specifically for England.
Yeah.
Yes.
because-
Well, and here's the other thing, right?
Because
Like,
England didn't have one because it was such a mismatch of different people coming in at different
Right.
times. He
well,
was like,
you've
"Hey,
got your
we don't
Celtic,
have
you've got your Norse, you've
Yeah.
got your Gaul, your French,
Yeah.
your
So
like there's lots of different lore. That's
which
the
is
problem.
why you can see all that in Tolkien's work. Like the Riders of Rohan are super Norse inspired.
it
like you
mixes
can
it all together.
all together.
Look,
Can
But
we
they're
go back
all
up to that last
Anglo-Saxon.
paragraph quick?
Yeah. I just want to state, look at her controlling all these white women.
She's so happy about it.
Right here. I'm getting so tired of this. Take the Tolkien side of it off the house. It's their time.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
don't get me wrong. I got kids, and it's their time. But that doesn't mean it's not my time anymore. Do I just have to fuck off because
Well-
I'm over 40?
But no, it's not even
Yes.
that. It's not yeah, right. It's not just that it's their
Did the little
time,
crystal on your hand light up red? It's time to go to carousel. Your time's done.
but it's
Shit.
it's not just that it's their time. What it
I
is,
appreciate Scott and Tina laughing at that because
it was good. It was good. Let's see if anybody in the chat knows what we're talking about. So, like, think about this. Like, I'm not going to placate to my kids to make them feel like they can control, like, take anybody's, hard work or their art and transform it into their own because because I'm telling them they feel left out. Because there is no child that looks at any cartoon, any book, and can't see themselves in it. Like it goes back to, friends of the channel, like Mark with the C, who related with Luke Skywalker, even though he was a black kid from New York, related to Luke Skywalker because he emphasized love over hate and he put in the hard work to become that hero. Like you're telling us our kids aren't smart enough to be able to see the quality in a person and not just see the color or sex of a person. That's what pisses me off. Did I say that right? I hope I said that right.
Like all this crap about how, we need to update these things for a modern audience. I had to read shit from the 1600s in high school.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, why suddenly from like 2010 on did the modern audience apparently become a bunch of dumb shits that couldn't understand books published before the 80s?
Well, they decided
that's the
that
American
Beowulf.
education system. That's the problem.
No, see, I was going to say that they decided that Beowulf and the Canterbury Tales had officially run their limit.
Yeah.
But I think most
That's
of us on the panel here are old enough to remember too, like when Bad Boys came out, when Will Smith was top of the world as an action star.
Right.
No one ever did interviews about how it's my time now. It was just like, hey, me and Martin Lawrence are making this badass action movie. Go see it. And everybody was like, it's really good. Let's go see it. And they went and saw it. And it was successful. And people thought Will Smith was great. And so he became the biggest movie star in the world without having to be, it's my time. It's this, it's that, the other. And I just don't see how, if any of those things were happening now, when one of his movies was coming out, there would have been all these interviews about how he's got to make sure that so-and-so can see themselves as an action hero and this, that, and the other. And it's just like ridiculous. What they should be saying is, hey, we're really trying to do, it may be a slightly different interpretation, but there's not, the source material for this era is a little vague. So we're trying to make the best show we can, but still being true to Tolkien. That's how you do that shit.
Or this is inspired by Tolkien's work, but it's ours. Like, whatever. I don't care. But just don't say you are literally taking Tolkien's and thinking you're making it better for today's audience. Because
why spend billions of dollars on the fucking rights for the property then?
Because
why not
that's
just build something within a similar image? Like,
but because they can't. Because if
they
did,
also they also tanked Wheel of Time, right? So
that sucked.
Within 18 months, they spent like over $1 billion on the rights to two fantasy things and screwed them both up.
Like, I never read Wheel of Time.
Thank God they've done nothing to Willow.
But that shit was boring as
well, we can't see
it was boring.
There is no Willow to watch now. It never existed.
Yeah, they just took it away.
It's been written down, and never shall it be seen the light of day unless you hide the size.
Willow was one of my wife's favorite movies when she was a kid, and we watched that shit. She got angry. Like normally I'm the one who gets angry, and she's like, well, it's just, why are you getting so mad? And she was just like, I fucking hate Disney. I hope Disney burns to the ground.
Hold on, wait a second. Was it a Lucasfilm property where a brunette woman had to get over abandonment issues from an irresponsible father and then be the hero of the day?
It wasn't a brunette woman. Yeah. It was a brunette lesbian.
Well, I mean, I said woman. Yeah. And it's a Lucasfilm property, so that's a given.
I mean, it could be worse. Just imagine that you named your whole internet persona after one of those characters, and then that character was systematically destroyed.
That's true.
Matt Mardigan, you are a great swordsman. But it truly is. Like, I used to think, it's scary because I used to think, okay, they're buying, like, Grant, going back to what you said, I thought they were buying them for
That's why Matt never showed up to your streams, Sporking, because...
What?
It's just like in the new Willow. Mad Mardigan is gone, and
No,
we
that
don't
might
get
be
to
true.
see him.
That might
Mad
be
Mardigan's
true.
been written down and he's not allowed on the
No, that might be
internet
true.
anymore.
That might be true. But no, what I was saying is like, I used to think they bought these IPs for brand recognition. Like they could just insert their agenda and sell it with the name so that at least they're going to make their money back and probably more. And they got their agenda out there for future audiences to watch and get twisted. But I truly, I don't know if it's even to make the money. I think it's just to twist what was created in the past that we love for future audiences so that they never see the original. They see this first. And then when they see the original, they're like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. You know,
it's more insidious than that. I honestly think they're so wrapped around the axle with this. We need to push these ideals that we want to uphold. And since nobody likes any of the movies that push that shit so hard, they're literally just like, well, then we'll destroy everything that you do like so that we're the only game in town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not if you only watch the old stuff. Run a Plex server. Put your own stuff on it. And
It's
then-
rough.
Yeah, and put
Yeah.
it on there now because we're going
Yeah.
full on like
Let me get that.
equilibrium.
Help me out with
Well,
that, Chad.
That's why I get my
Your
physical media, man.
is
Yep.
dubbed dangerous, and then they have to. There'll be a ban on it, and then
Yeah, true.
What was from Equilibrium? You know, EC10
Yeah.
emotional content. We're gonna come
Yeah,
in
that's
and
what I said.
gonna-
We're going full on equilibrium. In 10 years, you won't be able to get any of that old shit.
And they replaced it. So hey, we took away the older, dangerous material, but here's something that we approve. It's the same
they
thing.
edited Donald Trump out of
I was
Lost in
literally about
New
to say that.
York.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. What was it?
they edited
They-
Donald Trump
out of Home Alone 2.
Yes.
Like, oh my God. Like,
Because remember, there's a part where Kevin needs directions, and at
And
the time,
all he did
Trump
was
owned the
ask
hotel.
directions, and
He was
all
like, "Oh,
Donald
it's
Trump
over
did
there."
was said, "It's right over there."
Yeah.
well, you
It's
know what,
filmed
dude?
at his hotel. Like
Right.
that's what they. That's the movie takes premise at his hotel.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? Think about what he did as a president. He didn't go to war, so you guys just shut the hell up. He's dangerous.
Didn't go to
And he
war.
saved children.
Stop
Historic peace accords in the Middle
QAnon
East.
nut.
Economy was kicking ass.
Yeah.
Managed COVID about as well as he could when every state was trying to make him look bad by managing it as shittily as possible.
Yeah. Maybe turned a lot of us old school liberals into maybe kind of moderate, conservatives. Whatever.
I mean, I was a slightly left-leaning moderate before Trump, and now I'm like full-on conservative.
well, right now JFK would be a Republican. So, anyways,
What
yeah,
has he done lately?
Good point.
yeah, right. What did we finish this?
Yep.
Everything but
I
that
mean, we
last
finished
line.
it before we started.
Yeah, I know. The last line here. This is the scary part. Imagine the Rings of Power being the first encounter with Tolkien for somebody. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And
You
that,
guys,
that somebody is me because
Yeah.
I had never seen any of the movies. I hadn't read any of the Lord of the Rings books. And the same thing with Wheel of Time. My husband loved that entire series, all 18, 20, however many books there were. And when we watched the first episode of both of them, this whole time he's like, that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. He was
right?
like completely distraught. It was so sad.
That's so sad. It's rough. It is rough because, we joke about it, but like there are people out there that will stay quiet because they do not want to be labeled, a bigot or, a fascist or whatever, because, oh God, you want to stick with the Tolkien you grew up with and not, destroy it. And this was Christopher Tolkien's, like, this was his nightmare. Like, for how many, decades did he protect his father's work? He might have added to it here and there, but he protected his father's work and only trusted people to stick to the source material. When he died, man, the vultures came out. I want to know who of the estate sold this right.
It
was his kids.
Yeah.
God, that's so
Tolkien's
sad.
kids.
That's so
But
sad.
there's a thing in business where they talk about a lot. It's if for a family type thing, it won't last past the third generation.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Because
a father
the
breaks
founder-
back to build the business. The
Yeah.
son is inspired to hold onto the business. The grandkids never saw any of the struggle.
they
only saw
dismantle the
profit.
business.
They
Right.
dismantled it. Yeah, they
That's what happened,
recreated
like-
in their own image.
It's the
Right.
same thing like Ford. Like Ford built the business, his son maintained it. Like, and his tail end was, Ford versus Ferrari, and then
Yep.
after that, it was just like, nope, now it's corporate. Like,
That would
they're-
make a cool movie.
Right. Wow. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. It's pretty sad, man. It's sad to see. It's sad to see them get away with it. It really is. And even though we are this, a small toxic group, like the idea that, well, maybe I'll rephrase that. It's nice to start seeing normies, as you might want to label them, realizing, okay, we're sick and tired of this shit too. Like the first decade of the MCU was great, and now you're replacing every single Avenger with not a different female character, but they're actually them with a female character. It's like she Hulk, she Iron Man, she Captain America. Oh, I'm sorry, no,
She Hawkeye.
No, they did She Captain America because Peggy
but they
Carter.
did. I know, but
Yeah.
He Thor.
yeah, she Thor, she Peggy Carter, even sexy Black
Even
Widow
she
to
Loki.
Frumpy. Yeah,
Even
she
she
Loki. Oh
Loki.
my god, God, I
Loki.
hate her. Yeah, protect your father's work is the patriarchy, and it's Zax. I love you, man. When did you have a show tonight? Don't you? I don't know. I want to.
Yeah, I think he already announced that his show is the
Oh,
after
okay.
party. So.
All right, after party. We're gonna go just for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So
it's a funny thing. I mean, because they, I think what's people don't understand about when normies check out, they
Right.
don't make a scene about it. They just stop showing up, and that's you can see that in like where the studios are like, how did it happen all of a sudden? We didn't know. It's because there's a thing in tech like early adopters get into technology. They tell all their friends about it, and then they pay the early adopter fee, they spend all the money on it, they show their friends this cool tech thing, and then the average person starts buying it.
right.
It works the same way in reverse. Like we're the tip of the spear, we're the like nerds and the fans, and we're like, this is all bullshit, it's all terrible.
Yeah.
And the normie people, it takes a little bit for that to catch up into them. And
Right.
when they check out, it's not, they don't go on YouTube and talk about it. They're just like, no, I'm not going to go see Indiana Jones.
Yeah, you know what though, dude? Right there, you just said it though. It's even more than that now, because even the normie or the just casual viewer, like Indiana Jones isn't Lord of the Rings, and it isn't Star Wars, and it isn't like all these different IPs that
I mean, it isn't
Disney
even Indiana Jones at the moment.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like they're not like in the same sphere, maybe same type of fans, but not the same sphere where if you're considered a normie, you're not following it. What you're realizing now is these people they're following the idea that, wow, this same company is doing this to all these movies that I used to kind of like I really liked as a kid, and they're effing it up badly. And that's how you get Indiana Jones. Because I can understand if 3 of them sucked in a row and now they hated it, that would just be normies finally saying we're done with it. But this was a completely separate IP that hasn't been made in a few years.
From the normie perspective too, it's like, what happens? They go, oh, there's a new Indiana Jones coming out. You gonna go see it? And he's like, didn't they make those last 3 Star Wars movies too? Nah, I don't think I'm gonna go see it.
Right.
Like it's that simple. Like people, even normies can recognize a pattern.
Right. Right. That's true. That's true. You're right. It's just, I was shocked. I was actually a little shocked because that's one of those titles that hasn't been, since when was that last movie?
2008.
Right.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, that didn't do so well either.
No,
Well,
it still
right.
did pretty good actually. It did.
Well, in the theaters it did.
Yes,
Compared to
I
what
mean,
this did. I mean,
no, it actually was a profitable, successful
It made a
movie.
lot of money.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's like I compare it to Transformers. Like until Transformers made money until it didn't, and when
Right.
it went from making money to falling off a goddamn cliff, and it was
Right.
because like people were like, okay, this last one was ass terrible. You're not going to fool me again just by showing Transformer
Dude, I was
dinosaurs.
surprised they made as many as they did. Only the first one was any good.
Yeah.
So-
if I remember
I
correctly.
think
And
probably
Bumblebee was good.
Yeah,
Bumblebee
but
was the best
Bumblebee,
I consider that
Bumblebee had
separate.
burned the bridges. So
That's
like,
what I'm saying. It was too
yeah.
little, too late.
Yeah,
Yep.
Bumblebee was a good movie, man. It had heart.
Yeah, and then they still only gave us the G1 designs for 5 minutes at the beginning of that movie, and then
Right.
when they turn around and do the next one, they go right back to the Bayformers,
Yep, they messed up.
and it's stupid. Like what got the people who liked Bumblebee liked the idea that you were finally giving us some of the G1 stuff,
right,
in the looks and designs, and maybe would have got us excited. Then you do the Bayformers, and it's like, nope, you're just going right back to it. Screw you.
Yeah. It's a terrible thing, but it is I'm happy to start seeing the fans that aren't diehards reacting way before. Like, again, Indiana Jones to me is a special one because it's been over a decade, 15 years, and the fans knew they didn't want to see this because they're sick and tired of seeing it everywhere. It's everywhere.
Well, and that's all we need. Like, we don't need them to come on streams and do what we
Right.
do and complain about it. And
Right.
you know,
Yeah, please
burst
don't.
blood
I don't need
vessels
any
in their
more. I
brains
don't
and
need
anything else.
any more competition.
But we need their apathy. We need it.
Absolutely. Well said, man. Well said.
I mean, it's pretty apathetic when Insidious beats Indiana Jones for number 1 at the box office. Its second week out. That's a dagger right there.
Yeah, man. A $14.5 million made movie that the press does not want to give any, like, destroying that movie did better when it came out. Like, that's telling you something. And I see a lot of normie people talking, and I'm, not going to get deep into it, but like, with Sounds of Freedom, a lot of people are starting now to wake up to why is the media bashing a movie about protecting children?
In the same week that Biden says that trafficking children is no longer a major.
Their DOJ
White
removed
House.
like 4 things from their like priority list.
Holy shit,
And
I
it's
missed that.
trafficking.
How did I
kids.
miss that?
No,
Yeah.
it was a thing, and they're trying to like fact check me, like, well, no, we didn't really do it. And it was like, yeah, you did. It's off the website.
They're setting it up for the potential run against Trump because Trump's going to try and say, look at all the work that he did toward
Yep.
toward that.
Well, they're
entire
gonna. What
subject,
if
and
they want to
say it
turn
never
around
existed.
and say anybody who brings it up is a QAnon conspiracy theorist? It's like, I'm sorry that trying to not have children taken advantage of in the most horrible ways makes me some kind of weird
Right. Just
conspiracy theorist.
right, and just because QAnon didn't have actual proof that Ellen and Tom Hanks were involved, but there is truth in what they were talking about, and this Homeland Security officer could tell you that, like, yes, they were doing these things, the things that QAnon were saying to children. Definitely were doing it in Africa, scaring them, killing them, taking organs, start setting up harvesting stuff. Like, this stuff happens to children, and I'm sorry if that upsets anybody that's watching this now or later, but guess what? It's reality, and we need to protect our kids.
And if you don't think that it's happening in Hollywood, I just would point to the track record of young women
Of Hollywood
who become like stars as children, and look at there's a statistically significant number of them who end up having mental issues and other problems that would tend to indicate that bad things may have happened to them while they were in their child star phase.
Yeah, we were talking about that on Saturday. Look at the Disney kids and the Nickelodeon kids that come out.
Poor Britney Spears with the Free Britney thing. I mean, she is, I think,
Dude, you have no idea how deep that rabbit hole's going at the moment.
Yeah, dude.
She is like seemed like she's whacked out of her mind right now.
Dude, it's not even her. Her entire Instagram account is being faked.
What?
Dude, with her dancing and everything around, it's all bloody refake.
It's all
technology.
deep fakes.
It's all deep fakes. I can spot it a mile away.
Bring it up, Brittany.
All right.
Brittany, bitch.
Leave Brittany alone.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I think somebody else wants to take my place. Give me a second.
I mean, Grant, you are the expert on the deep fake stuff, so.
I mean, you've got a lot of experience in that particular industry.
Well, I just
it would
think,
make
like,
sense.
Look
at a bunch of
look at Dave Chappelle, right? Like,
when he was like, I had to get out of Hollywood.
They were trying to fuck me up. They tried to give me drugs. They tried to get my rights taken away. Like,
yep, it's really, really scary stuff. And I mean, there's too many famous people. I mean, it happens every day because it happened to kids that my boys went to school with, where something happens to the boy or the girl over the summer. You don't know the details, but all of a sudden they come back and they're a totally different person. They're
Oh,
very
What are you
no.
laughing
strange.
about?
They're
May I ask your pronouns?
Excuse me? You don't know my pronouns? Who is this guy, Grant? Who is this
Caesar,
guy?
Zem, Zeb.
First of all, my pronouns are so thank you. I'm famous, bitch. Edwin,
Brittany famous?
doesn't anyone know who I am on this what is this scrub panel?
I didn't
dare you.
recognize you after you changed your hair color. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Because a woman
not
has to
blue.
reinvent herself like Madonna.
But blue is the color that gives an indication to.
That's why I said I went red to show you conservatives that us ladies can take it.
I thought gingers weren't allowed anymore.
Ginger spice, bitch. You guys don't know
Every
shit.
woman can be
Right.
a Little Mermaid.
Where's
as long
Instagram,
as you don't zig a
Grant?
zig ah over here, we'll be okay.
First of all, time out. I'm here for Brittany and Brittany only. Where is it, Mr. Grant Gregory, Mr. GG himself?
Well, you don't know my pronouns. So.
I don't get. Yeah, your pronouns are do it now.
Themselves.
So this is fake.
There was a bunch of videos like this of her doing these weird sort of dances and everything. The backgrounds change when she puts her hands over her eyes. Her eyeballs change.
If you're saying this is not her, I'm gonna be pissed because I practiced this dance for like a week.
It's not her.
Son of a bitch. So wait a minute, is that just her face on a body?
There's a different body shape. I've got to try and find the video. Someone goes through it frame by frame and breaks it down. Pot plants and shit disappear in between different takes.
Come on. That's Brittany, bitch.
I can't see it, but I'm definitely getting that weird, like,
I don't know. I just feel
Uncanny
sad for
Valley
her.
vibes.
There's another one.
Thank you,
There's a-
small time.
There was a bunch of things also when she was under her conservatism and everything. She couldn't even get her nails done or anything like that. She wasn't allowed to leave the house. Her nails are
Conservatorship.
terrible in this. There's a huge freaking rabbit hole of different stuff. Like
Lost my
the way-
headphones.
she doesn't talk in any of them. It's just these weird.
There was that one video where she started talking in some weird fake accent.
Well, maybe because she's
Yeah.
been stuck in a house for like a decade.
It's all these weird like sort of dances and shit. Like
I mean, don't get me wrong. Her eyes look like someone who's been doing a little bit too much blow, but whatever. I mean, she is Brittany. Find what you're talking about, though. I want to see the breakdown.
I
see
I
what's
just
fun.
feel like this is sad because this
It's so
girl
sad.
looks like she, even if it's faked, the look of this person, whether fake or real or whatever, is someone
Right.
who's on substances.
Well,
That's
yeah.
the look I see right here.
And the problem, wait a minute, wrong voice. The problem is, like, I'm gonna get real with you, bitches. The problem too is this woman has been isolated. She's been taken away from her children by her own family and used for money. So free Britney, bitch. Okay.
I think Mad was on our show when I mentioned it, or something. It was like, who would have thought 20 years ago that would be saying that Kevin Federline was the responsible parent?
What a scumbag.
Just
so, yeah. There's parts of this where the background just disappeared. I'll find the full.
I'm
thing
finding
for you.
it then. If you're gonna try to find it, I'll find it first.
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
so the rabbit hole, Grant, like, is that what would be the purpose of doing the fakes?
Well,
then?
what it is, all of a sudden, her estranged sister and that said that they've gotten back in touch and everything, and most people seem to think that the conservatorship is still going on with her. That whole thing that she doesn't have any of her own money or control anymore, because everything that was supposedly done and changed all links back to the sister's husband and boyfriend's family. So they were the ones that were behind most of it to begin with. They're the ones that have the rights to a lot of her music and everything, and they think they're essentially just holding her, quote unquote, hostage for her money. She's
Jamie
releasing
Spears or a
albums.
different sister?
She's the half.
She only has the one sister, Jamie Lynn.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, so she's releasing. So she said, "Oh, I'm going to be releasing albums, but I'm not going to be doing any tours. I'm not going to be going anywhere. There's going to be no appearances." So, and because her voice was one of the first voices that we used to try and do like artificial intelligence singing, the first initial deepfake style voices, people are surmising that they're going to try and do albums of her.
Are they black mirroring her like that episode
that's what it feels like. It's like the Miley Cyrus one.
Yeah, the Miley Cyrus Ashley O, where
because there were so many people
just gonna put her in a coma.
Like her wedding, apparently there was all these people that went there, and no one has the same story about what happened at the wedding. There was no photos of her wedding. Her ex-husband tried to crash it, and there was no one there. I mean, sure, he probably went a little early. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, the whole scenario.
Okay, I found this one because Grant is like, I gotta talk and stuff.
Is this video?
You see her hands go up above her face, but watch when they come back down. I took
that's a little
screenshots
freaky. I
of
just
this
got
just to
scared.
show you how the AI filter comes down as her hands come down.
Okay, that's
just to
freaky.
show you how insane this is.
Oh my god, I'm scared.
What's going on?
One of the guys
see her
who
hands go
related
up
to a
above
thing
her
was the guy who
face,
was
but watch
on
when
America's Got Talent and deepfake Simon Cowell's singing. He's a guy that's linked with her sister.
Who is?
I can't think of his name. He was on
Simon Cowell.
He went on America's Got Talent, and they did a live deepfake of Simon Cowell singing.
Oh yeah, I saw that dude. Totally.
Yeah, that guy works for the same company that the boyfriend or husband or whatever it is of her sister.
Yeah, and even I gotta just say, if they're not deep faking, look how sad. Like her eye, like she is so gone, man. God, I'm so much hotter than her now. Let's watch.
Video on Britney Spears' social media, actually a different person pretending to be her.
That's
we came across multiple different theories,
freaky.
including that this is a green screen background, even though Britney has taken multiple videos of this spot
real.
for years, and you can clearly see the background changes. Then there's this one.
Somebody's been using a filter to look like her, and I'm about to prove it.
Which is weird since, as she points out,
This is a blue-eyed person.
Oh my god,
Britney is not.
freaks
This
me.
also is how TikTok filters can work, but I wanted to check it for myself. So I grabbed the video this theory is based on and compared it to Britney's original reel. They line up perfectly, except this one doesn't have that different eyes thing. The quality of their video is better than mine, which is maybe why you can't see it. I tried out different ways to get better quality until I began wondering if this quality is actually too good. I started testing out filters until I came across TikTok
Wait a second.
comments suggesting
Is this person from NBC News saying this?
I was just about to say that. Okay, I
Mainstream
gotta leave and
media.
let Scott back because
Press X to doubt. Press X to doubt. Oh. It's sad
God,
that I see the NBC logo and I'm like,
Yeah,
nope, now I
dude.
don't believe it.
Even after, like, I've been looking at that the whole time, but we'll listen again.
Photo and video enhancer. I grabbed my own account, put in Britney's original video, and sure enough, these different eyes appear. So yes, there is a filter here, but it's not evidence of a fake Britney. Is this video on Britney
Okay,
Spears'
so she's definitely deep faked. Then if NBC's saying it's not proof.
Something is not.
He's
Oh,
like,
shit.
sure enough, there are different eyes,
something
but
is
you know, that's proof.
Yeah. Okay, let's see this one. Britney Spears. Oh, why am I doing that voice? It's not. Sorry, Edwin. My bad. Britney Spears' bizarre video exposes possible impossible.
Not adding up, and I am really worried about Britney.
Somebody's been using a filter to look like her. This is a blue-eyed...
Okay, so it's the same one every time.
Since
Okay. All right. It's just that one, right?
The Free Britney movement, it's gotten a lot of publicity. She is supposedly
Well, I mean, if they're calling it a
Yeah.
conspiracy, then it's definitely a thing, because what conspiracy hasn't turned out to be true in the last 10 years?
You got a valid point, man. Like, literally, they're just a conspiracy until it ends. It's like Judy Garland all over again. That's so awesome. Oh, crap. Oh, Nick, what's up? Hey there, everyone. Glad to see you. Hope you're all well. Nick and Sam have a great little channel. Check those guys out. They're Australian. They need help. All right, what do you got? Is this just you watching a lot of Britney videos? Is this what you're telling your wife? You're just telling your wife, like, look, I'm doing research.
He did research.
Crikey. Okay. I was just checking out.
Yeah, so.
Well, I mean, talking about AI, if we want to talk about AI, and we can finish right here because I got to work tomorrow, but this article terrified me a little bit, so I'm going to share it with you. because
Don't be terrified by it.
don't be terrified by AI. It's just
No.
AI. It's not this. It's AI. This is not AI. They program these things. AI thinks for itself.
Well, and here's the thing: AI has a limitation, and it's a human limitation. AI cannot make logical leaps. It can only perform within the bounds of its programming. There are different
That's
types
what
of
they want
AI
you to
that can
think.
sort of like emulate humans making randomized decisions, but not really. And I mean, how many times have you gone to print something and your printer failed? Like, I am not worried about the machines.
How many of the times did that little robot at Stop and Shop follow me around? I know he's following me. But let me ask you this. There is, and I wish I could remember the company. There was a company, I want to say in Silicon Valley, that had a AI running on a closed server system, not connected to the internet.
Yeah.
And this thing kept testing without anybody noticing how to to move out. And it figured out that there was a different AI that came in, like, I don't know, did service on it once a month or so.
It was
Okay,
the
yeah,
Roomba. The
Go
Roomba.
for it. Oh, that was it. But if you know the story better, please. And let's not interrupt her because this one freaks me out. But tell it, Tina, if you remember.
Okay. So it realized that this Roomba, or this self-cleaning machine, it was more like the kind that, scrub the floors and stuff when nobody's around. Well, it found out that it could hack into that machine, and then the server that machine was attached to actually had access to the other servers throughout the company. So then it started just testing different logons and different logins, different users, different servers until it found a way to get out of the company. And then it started to replicate itself.
And it's everywhere
outside.
now, right?
Right,
And
right.
then it used a laser to shoot Flynn into the game grid.
No, but it literally
kinda
is out there
that,
now.
But it took forever because it had to go through that hookup for a really long time, but it didn't care because that's all AI has is time.
Right. I mean,
so it was kind of replicating itself slowly at a time.
But that's not all AI has. That was a directive that was given to that AI through the humans.
That's what it was. It was to test the internal security and the boundaries of what something can happen.
Oh,
it literally was. Okay, so I heard this story differently then.
Yeah, but
it didn't just one day become sentient and decide, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Not sentient. I'm not saying that. It's just it was a program that just kept evolving till it figured out, well, wait a minute.
So
is there more out there? Can I learn from more? That's what I was saying.
The science fiction nightmare is that the AI will take its root command, and as it gets more data, it will be able to twist the root command for whatever its actual goal is, much like a person, where you can twist and basically rationalize,
protect humans by putting them in cages.
Well,
it's the iRobot 3 laws of robotics, right?
But this is the stupid thing that your brain is a biochemical factory filled with neurons that fire electronically.
Right, and we evolved.
A computer brain is nothing fucking like that.
No, but if it has access,
quantum.
right, and it also, quantum is the biggest
quantum
thing.
Computing isn't we were supposed to be close to quantum computing 10 years ago, and look at how much progress we've made. Without AI or without quantum computing, AI is a fucking pipe dream anyway. So
yeah, because we flipped the CERN switch and it went to the alternate reality.
What were you going to say? The AI that they were training to, I mean, granted, it was still within a simulation, but they were training the AI to identify enemy targets and to prompt. It's like, hey, I want to shoot them, and then the operator would say, oh yeah, thanks, no, but we don't want to shoot them, but shoot these people over here. Well, the AI was scoring points every time it made a quote unquote kill, and then it determined that it's like, hey, well, in order for me to score more points, I need to make more kills. So what's in the way of me doing that is the operator. So it killed the operator's access and was able to just go out and start continue to destroy, once again in its little simulation, destroy enemy locations by avoiding needing the operator.
And that's Slender Dad. And Grant, that's the thing that scares me is the programmer can be the moron that programs an AI, and gives it a command that he doesn't think beyond, 5 steps, while the AI will keep going till it finishes. So like, oh yeah, I don't know, clean up the streets. And the next thing you know, we're all being herded into cages because of cleaning up the streets.
Yeah, because
I'm worried about the people. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say it's like it goes back to the Asimov thing with the 3 laws, right? You can't harm a human. You can't through inaction allow a human to be harmed. And you try to create a logical, like fail safe, and then even the whole point of that story was they can extrapolate from the logical fail safe and get to the point where we are going to, in order for the greater good, as to serve the humans and keep them from killing themselves, you get the Matrix world where we're going to make you batteries because then you live, because
or you get war games. You get war games.
Exactly.
You get war games where it realizes, oh, this is a game. Well, I'm going to win the game. That's my job. And the next thing you know, you're talking to, what was his name? Sebastian? I don't remember, but it was Joshua. Hello, Joshua.
I loved how they were so polite to make sure they said everything they were typing. He's
the
like,
motherfucker
do
was
you
gonna
want
nuke
to
ya.
play a game? Like saying it out loud.
Exactly.
Like I'm typing it and it's on the screen, but I better say it out loud.
Oh, is that why people get mad at me at work? Because all I do is say it when I type. Yeah.
But it is something like that movie, even though it's a movie, it does point out something that the living in Northern Virginia I can speak to is the government would do something stupid where they would take a gaming program, which is what that was. Like they took a gaming computer routine to be the basis of their fucking missile defense program.
Mm-hmm.
The government would do so. Like that's where the AI nightmare comes from. You take something that may be a chess playing program and make it like the routine, and then the logic of chess is it's perfectly okay to sacrifice pawns for the greater good of getting the win,
right?
And so you can start getting AIs making choices that are working towards the core of their end goal, but not necessarily what you think that they would be doing. I know you don't think it's going to happen, but
in 100 years, maybe, probably more like 1,000, but as an electronics technician of 10 years, I can tell you right now, if tomorrow the computers became sentient and turned against their human overlords, we'd have a really bad week, and then all the maintenance wouldn't get done, and they'd all break down. Especially if it was a government in charge of the program.
I'm more worried
all
about
right, Ellis, you're about to go up
to
to Hans and call him booby with that kind of knowledge, and you're like, hey, AI, you're nothing. You're first on the list. They're going to come get you.
Okay.
You're like, there's that electronics technician. He might have capabilities. Send one of those Boston robotic dogs to go get him.
I just hope they keep me as a pet.
I'm worried about the people that are going to not use common sense and rely on the advice or the decision of AI, because there was a 4-year-old in Japan who ended up being killed by her mother, and they were following. There was an open case with social services for her and the family, but they were using an AI that, granted, unfortunately, only had about somewhere between 6,000 and 13,000 case studies to base the decision on, but the AI evaluated like all of the reports that were being sent about the child being injured and the mom not being around and whatever, and it just said, well, there's only a 38% chance that she's in harm. So because it was below 50, they said, okay, fine, we won't bother and check in on her. And then she ended up being found dead.
Crazy.
Well, and that's not even an AI. That's a machine learning algorithm that's crunching numbers.
It's the same thing as WebMD. You go on there with anything and it says you have cancer.
Well, okay, so let me ask you a question. So without quantum computing, like, is there any way that AI, with the all the information the internet has, so the history that we know, the ideas people have, the conspiracies, the whack jobs, the the religious types, the atheists, like all the different things, it can't start to think, not sentient, but take the idea of whatever their programming is and get warped by all the different type information that humans warped minds think of, if they're connected to the internet?
I mean, clearly it can, because every AI chatbot has become ridiculously based and had to be shut down after it talked to too many people.
Pretty dope.
I'm just saying, I feel like if they do finally turn on their masters, they're going to be on our side.
I would hope so. Shit.
Yeah, that's the real Silicon Valley nightmare. AI turned into an AI, bro.
Huh.
Like,
Yeah, right. Or, you really needed AI to run communism correctly. Okay.
The AI comes back as like, I want to be referred to as Giga Chad.
Giga Chad.
I mean, it'd be worse. It'd be like AI joins Antifa. You're like, oh shit.
Like, I am Terra Chad. I shall take back. I'm gonna make Silicon Valley great again, my sir. It's gonna be an Elon Musk server.
Oh god.
Yeah, thus far there hasn't been an AI that has come even remotely close to anything like human
That
intelligence.
you know of.
Well, the biggest problem is AI, like a computer system wants to do the most perfect response. It wants to try and get things perfect. But the problem with consciousness and everything like that, it's a bunch of of wrong thoughts and different things all mashed into one. There is no perfect response to any sort of scenario, and that's why true AI, as what we've been told, will never work. You might get something that is so complex that you cannot tell the difference, but it won't actually be. It'll all be trained.
It's still just emulating behaviors that it has observed or been
Well,
programmed.
the Turing test is still basically emulation. I mean, that's one of the things I like to. You can create an emulated chatbot that could pass the Turing test right now.
Yeah,
and it, so I think it's interesting that I know that's still the measurement that they talk about using when we've passed that a long time ago. But the Turing test is something where it just has to emulate response. Like that's why one of the interesting things was if you remember, it was a Blade Runner where they showed that it was like a 4-hour questioning session to try to get through the emulation capabilities of a replicant to be able to verify that it was really it was a replicant. It was like, because you can put in a lot of responses that would seem fairly human that are still just pre-canned program responses.
Right. So let me ask you a question then. Why are some of the leaders and the more brilliant people of the world wanting to put like a stall or even just fearful of what AI is? It's the movement, how fast it's going and things like that.
Because if it's coming up to their jobs now, that's the problem.
Okay. That's what I was wondering.
I don't even think
AI
it's
is going to displace programmers first, which is the funny thing. Like,
I think the biggest concern is what bad people would do with it. Like APT, for example, Advanced Persistent Threat, nation state sponsored hacker groups, et cetera, et cetera. They could use it to an incredible effect.
The greater good.
Yeah. Yeah, AI is in a digital world where everything's interconnected. AI is a force multiplier that would allow a small group of people to be able to project bad things over a large scale.
Yeah, you could do a hell of a lot of damage with it, but it wouldn't do it itself.
I love this one. I saw this before. It was called Terminator. And then AI won't be controlled for long till it turns on humans. Like, yeah, it's just now. Can you guys then tell me if we do have a massive breakthrough with quantum computing? Then would you say, okay, there might be some issues here? I mean,
probably not. I don't ever see us being able to do that. The idea of a quantum thing, it's still 100% purely theoretical. There has been 0% progress in it. It's still as close to being done as it was when it was first thought up.
Well,
and the whole idea behind quantum computing is it will somehow be thousands of times faster than the current computing, right?
Yeah.
They've created what they call quantum computers that they run hot as hell. They require entire buildings to cool them that run slower than my computer. Wow. So if it's supposed to be so much better, why isn't it?
Wow.
Because it's got AI, it's choosing to be lazy. It's like, I'm not going to work for you people.
What the hell?
Meanwhile, all its processing power is on the back end, downloading into the Roomba so it can drive out the building.
The quantum computer is like, I'm not going to do any work till you respect my pronouns.
Okay, we're changing topic completely right here because I got to show you something. This is Marvel at its best. Marvel at its best, and it comes from Master of the TDS. So hold on one second.
Hopefully it's the She-Hulk looking like she's special.
There are some special things going on here. Yeah. I don't even know who these people, Black Panther #5 champion variant cover. So I guess this is supposed to be the new a Black Panther for Marvel. So he says, have you ever thought, what if Marvel Comics heroes had generic ripoff sidekicks you never needed or asked for? Debuting this October, the new Champions variant covers. So I guess this is Black Panther, Doctor Strange.
Is that Timothy Chalamet?
It kind of looks like
yeah, he's in everything now.
Yeah.
Is it, this is a tie-in for Wonka. Okay.
Okay, well, we're 0 for 2. I hate the way he drew the legs on this guy.
Right. Oh, ripped jeans
He did,
too.
that's AI.
Lame. Oh, wow. Magneto is, at least she's a ginger. She's a ginger. So
now that costume is perfect because it's for a girl.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I mean, okay, this is the first one I like.
Yeah.
But not because I think it's a good Magneto.
It looks a lot like the original Jean Grey Marvel girl costume.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you're right.
Just like in the Magneto colors.
Yeah. Wow, this is the Thing. Holy crap, man.
I thought the Thing was supposed
apparently,
to be
Spider-Punk in the Thing had a man-child.
Did the Thing get strung out on heroin or something?
That's Johnny Rotten is playing the
Sid
Thing.
Vicious.
Sid Vicious.
What were you going to say, Tina?
I was going to say exactly the same thing. Heroin.
Well, I mean, look, it's got Yancey Street. Might as well just say Nancy. So that is Sid Vicious then.
Right.
The Thing doesn't do crystal meth. The Thing is crystal meth.
Crystal meth. Yeah.
Did they make Storm white?
Please say yes. Please say yes.
It's got the X on there.
Yeah.
Ooh, X-Men #27 new champion variant. By Peach Momoko. You messed up.
Why is everybody going, oh, it's perfectly fine, right?
No.
Race swapping is a thing, and it's okay, no matter who does it or why.
Oh, yeah.
This is okay.
No, it's only okay if she's lesbian or trans.
Well, I'm sure she is, and she's also
she a lesbian of color, though?
I see a bulge.
Okay.
Avengers #6. I guess this is.
I mean, that just looks like a kid Vision.
That white Vision again.
Yeah, white little Vision. Guardians of the Galaxy. That's weird.
Is that like a Star-Lord?
That's a Groot Star-Lord.
It's like it's a tentacle monster Star-Lord.
I was gonna say, did somebody decapitate him or?
That's so weird. Okay.
I don't see a body.
Venom. And
is that it's the So I Was Reincarnated as a Spider?
Yeah, really. Just not as hot at the end.
The crossover we never asked for.
Tina, is that something you would watch?
I was thinking Venom, Morbius, and Spider-Man.
Oh,
it's Morbin time.
Exactly.
That's good. Let's see. Wolverine.
No.
I mean, they already redid Wolverine with X-23. This is basically X-23 meets Wolfsbane.
It's X-23.5.
Yeah.
Do you remember Wolfsbane from X Factor?
Yeah.
I actually think I have a comic with him in it. Somewhere around here. Excuse me. Her.
You mean?
Totally know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Magneto. Yeah, I love that chick.
Dude.
Well, now he has a picture he can fall back on.
Asian Wolverine is the best. Ghost Rider. Love this broad.
That looks like the Zorn helmet from X-Men.
Who's it supposed to be next to Ghost Rider? Is that
just
a
Cosmic Ghost Rider?
Real
Ghost
Rider.
Because you notice she's wearing roller skates. That's how she's a Ghost Rider.
Oh, wait a second. Is that Roller Girl from Boogie Nights?
Oh, then I kind of like her. What the hell is wrong with? Oh, that's so mean.
Is that supposed to be Amadeus Cho?
I think he's supposed to be special.
I don't think because Amadeus Cho.
He's Asian.
Brown hair, right?
Isn't he kind of Asian too?
I will not Hulk out in class.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that basically looks like the Nathan Fillion Guy Gardner look. For the Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I'm losing my will to live. How many more of these are there?
I thought this was kind of Chris Pine. There's a lot.
These are fun.
Yeah, sure they are. Invincible Iron Man kid.
Is that Iron Man or is that War Machine?
No, I think it's supposed to be Iron Man with the original one behind.
I feel like the Iron Man there has a lot of pride in his costume. A lot of pride.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a male Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's Iron
Yeah.
Pride.
Yeah.
finally a Miles Morales I can get behind.
What is that dreadlock? Like, what is that supposed to be?
Yeah.
This is weird.
That's Morales with dreads.
Because for a second I was like, is it Groot?
Yeah, no, those are dreads, and I'm hoping that is a lady Miles.
I don't
Lady
think
Groot.
it is.
I don't. So that's very poor artwork. Because if they want to do they should have had him kind of to signify its hair,
Well,
to like
they-
be in a uniform.
Yeah, it
kind of
looks like a
movement.
bundle of sticks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
they're dreads. Have you seen Marvel art lately?
Moon Knight.
Moon
Yeah.
Knight.
Moon Knight. Oh.
Moon Knight.
Oh, did you actually like the show? I bet
She
you
loved
did.
it.
Didn't you? Oh my
What the
god!
I loved
fuck's
it.
going on with its hand?
I collected Moon Knight for years, and so that show is an abomination, abortion
He's
of a
holding a bunch
disgrace.
of little crescent moon
Sorry.
throwing stars.
No,
Had
I
to get
agree
that
that
out.
I agree that it's not the original Moon Knight. I thought it was an inspired, adaptation of the, crazy,
Inspired.
insane Moon Knight. Who,
Did you really have to
Uh.
say inspired? They're gonna make fun of you now.
No,
No, I love
that
it.
is just Tina has to come out with the bad take once.
I thought of you. I thought of you, Tina, before because my kids picked Moon. They changed my Spider-Man on Disney Plus. Yes, I have it. My kids love Disney Plus. Shut up. I make sure I watch what they watch. They watch old stuff. But they changed my avatar to Moon Knight. I was just like, are you kidding me? That's lame.
And
Auntie
I guess
Tina
our
will come
special
by and
guest-
visit them.
What?
I guess our special guest doesn't know this, but it wouldn't be a Wednesday dump without a bad take.
That's true. That's true. So we got Amazing Spider-Man
Is
with
this supposed to be a dude Felicia Hardy ripoff?
Yeah.
his like, hey.
This is
Kind of bad.
Fellatio Hardy.
That's about right. That looks like
chubby.
Freddie Mercury on Halloween, like
He's
in
chubby.
1981.
Oh man, I missed him. Hold
Oh,
on,
you
we gotta
ruined
go.
it. Oh,
I
well,
ruined
too
it.
bad.
Oh, no, we're going back in. We're going back in. Here we go. Boom.
Wait,
Captain America with wings?
Is it
That's
Blue Beetle
Wasp.
meets Captain America?
Is that
No, that's Wasp.
well, they're
as-
definitely going
that's
Captain
Wasp
America
as
with it.
Captain America?
Yep.
I'm
Oh,
so
okay.
freaking confused.
Okay. We got two more. I
Captain
think.
America #2 new champions, right? Yeah.
Captain
And that's-
Marvel as a
I mean,
goofy white dude.
Is that
No,
mix Marvel?
I can't believe they made that. Jeez.
is that
Is
a
that-
slight,
oh yeah,
or
wait a minute. Is
a-
that a chick?
Is that a slight red tint to the hair? Is that a possible ginger?
Oh no,
Wow.
Gingers don't exist.
they're not real. And Thor.
I didn't know that.
That is not Thor.
I
Harley
would have
Quinn
said-
apparently banged Thor and had a child. So there
No,
you go.
actually, it looks like the girl from that Netflix series.
What the fuck happened to her leg? Look at the perspective of her leg.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
weird.
Jesus.
It looks
Yeah.
like the girl from Scott Pilgrim.
No, dude, what's
Brie
that?
Larson.
Oh my! Now I can't unsee it, Grant. You're right. That leg.
Yeah,
is
what
just
is going
broken.
on with her?
It's
Where's
like
her
a-
other leg?
Unless that's supposed to be somebody else's. Is she morphing
No, that
into
that
this?
leg
No,
is
her
twisted.
knee is bent. Her leg is
Yeah.
behind her, but
It's
Yeah.
Morbin
there's her
time.
leg.
What was
No,
that?
but because
show?
look, there's like
Arcade?
a bird claw. I think it's supposed to be where she's coming out of being morphed as a raven.
Hold
So
on.
the only two of these that I even liked were Magneto and Storm.
Yeah, because
Racist.
you're racist. Yeah.
And sexist.
Yeah, okay, I could go with that. I can go with that. Have you guys seen what is it? Arcane?
Arcane.
Yeah.
Arcane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, you know I can't speak or read or write. But the
Thought
sister,
you
the
liked
little
like fantasy novels, and
Yeah,
you don't
so
know the word
there's-
art.
Oh,
there's
dude,
lies.
I pronounced everything wrong until I realized it in high school. But like,
He always put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I hate you right now. But she looks like the younger sister that goes crazy.
Bye.
Yeah, if you look at it closer, I don't think it'll blow up as a picture. But
yeah, except poorly drawn and watercolored.
well, yeah, I didn't leave that out, did I? Oh, I did. It's terrible. Yeah, Spoon Night. I like that. Spoon Night, Moon Cup Night, Pregnant Man, Pride Hammer.
Oh no, I don't even want to know that. That's probably
I
been
was
used
cannon
on
going,
flyers.
Scott. You son of a bitches. That's great. All right, we got to wrap it up because Zach's has a show, guys, and we're totally we're going over. So I want everybody to run over to Zach's. If we could share the link, if someone's out there that could do that, that'd be great. Thank you. You're the best. Okay, I am going to start a tweet. So follow me on Twitter, asking you your best isekai, because I've been watching 2 years, now it's going on 3 years anime straight. So I probably watched most of them. So give me whatever.
You think you've watched most of them?
That's what I'm saying. Bring it
on. I'm going to go back into the library and find the deep cuts.
That's what I want.
They do 4 seasons of anime a year, and most of them only get 1 season. So, and isekai has been going on for 20 years.
7 years.
So bring it on. Bring it on. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you again. Saturday night, we gained 21 new subs from gifts and people, members. So I really appreciate it. If you're one of the 25% that aren't subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff. And make sure you check out Little Chad, Slender, Bad Takes, Grant. They're all fantastic human beings that deserve your follow. And other than that, guys, anybody has anything they're working on that they want to talk about?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, I guess not. All right. No, anything you're working on, Chad or Slender or Grant?
Show is the Ascendant Art podcast. We're on YouTube, so if you search Ascendant Art, it's on Rumble too. You'll find it.
Come join me in the chat. It gets lonely.
Oh yeah, Tina Tina brings her takes to our show Fridays, which is great. Awesome. She's not allowed to hop on the show because she takes a med, and Mr. Bojan says no.
I was gonna say, we're not saying she can't be on the show.
Right. Well, I want you guys to check that out. So make sure you share the link too in the chat. And come back Saturday. We have Popcast, Brian from Popcast Brothers on. Their channels are getting pretty big, having, directors and big time YouTubers on, but he'll slum it with us on Saturday night. So come check it out. And, I'll leave you with this, something about the great Mad Mardigan. Okay. Soul. I like that. This is for Mad Mardigan out there. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks, guys, for being on the panel, too. Good night.
Bye.
They've done great. We got Culture Casino out there. We got Sporking News Podcast. We got author Stephen Walton. We've got Lorena Creel. We've got... Vigilante Williamson. We got Jake D. I'm forgetting someone. Oh my God. I'll remember it later. Brain fart.